morning. We want to welcome you this morning to our Drainage District Board of Directors meeting posted for today, October the 9th, 2018. President are Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, again, we give you many thanks, Lord, for another opportunity, another day that you've given us to serve, Lord. We just continue to pray for all our leadership, Lord. Continue to pray for the judge and the 4 commissioners you've appointed, Lord, to lead this great county of ours, Lord. Continue to bless them. Continue to provide them your wisdom, Lord, and more importantly, continue to provide them your peace, Lord, as they continue to make decisions that affect us all. I just continue to ask for your wisdom for myself, Lord, for all our workers of this great county. Lord, that we may just continue to work us as we're working for you, Lord. We pray for all those that are still recovering from the catastrophic events that just took place here in Hidalgo, Lord, and also took place in the East Coast, Lord. And then we pray for those that are in Florida right now, Lord. They're about to be impacted by another event, Lord. We just pray for the emergency responders, Lord. Pray for the families. Pray your hedge of protection over them, Lord. Just thank you again, Lord, for everything that you provide. Thank you for the opportunity again to serve. And it's in your Son Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Under open forum, we have 3 presenters. The first presenter is Dr. K.C. Fletcher.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, the public. For the record, I'm Kenneth C. Fletcher. I reside in beautiful Precinct 2. Eddie Cantu is our commissioner there. And I'd like to, sort of piggyback off. I see later on I'm going to be talking about domestic violence, but I want to address the domestic violence to the public trees in the courthouse square that were bulldozed down, turned into splinters. Because air spade wasn't used. In the future, if you're going to move trees, you can use a device that uses compressed air, removes all the soil from the roots. You wrap them up before they dry out, and you can move even really heavy, really mature trees instead of knocking them down. And also, this is Drainage District 1, and I'd like to comment the citizens need to take responsibility, keep their local ditches clean and alleys and everything, pick up grass so the runoff doesn't clog up the drainage, and also planting more trees. In FAR, we have the least trees of all the municipalities in the valley will absorb rainwater like a sponge. And also in FAR, we have some dumb son of a ditch, that's with a D, that's created, it's supposed to be a dry detention basin. It's in the subdivision called Prosperidad, far northeast corner of FAR. It's an excavated ditch that retains water. It can't drain out because the drainage that was finally put in is still too high, so it's a real mosquito public health threat. And also, I'd like to say, since this is a drainage district, we'd like to keep more of our money. Too bad, too sad. I think it's a tragedy that you can't use $7 million from free land if the courthouse wasn't located in downtown Edinburgh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next presenter is Fern McClarty.
Good morning. I have one thing in drainage. I wasn't able to be here last week or so, a couple of weeks ago. I was at the courthouse watching a court case. We're talking about hiring an attorney for the drainage district. I would like to know what his qualifications are for the drainage. I would like to know how much experience has he had doing this type of job that you're looking to hire. And how much experience has he been as an attorney? I got 4 phone calls from the public telling me, please ask questions about this. So I'm asking y'all to do your investigation and check into it before you say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And I also would like, today you have 11A on the regular commissioner's court. We're looking at time you pay everything, it's $74,381, the way I read it on the agenda. And my thing is, Why did you hire a security company to guard the courthouse entrance when we're going in? And we're going to pay a deputy or so, $74,000 or whatever, to go to, Texas Tropical Behavior and Health Center? I think the courthouse is more important and needs more security than there, so hire the security company to go over to Texas Tropical Behavior. I went in the courthouse for 2 weeks. I thought the courthouse security was the sheriff's job, so we were kind of surprised and shocked. Also, I see that we're having at the DA's office and everyone's having to walk all the way around the courthouse from over here. So I wish you'd check on the lawyer. I would like you to check on why we're paying a deputy $74,381 time you get everything on there for a company, and we're not doing it for our own courthouse. This is a shame. Thank you.
Next presenter is Lupita Marquez.
Muy buenos días, señores comisionados y señor juez. Mi nombre es Lupita Márquez. Yo vivo en Indian Hills y vengo a agradecer al comisionado del precinto 1, David Fuentes, por habernos ayudado en terminar de pavimentar nuestras calles que teníamos ya años pidiendo que se terminaran. Gracias también a su personal por los pasados inundaciones que nos ayudaron mucho. Gracias por todo su apoyo y pues vengo a agradecer, verdad, que por su gran ayuda. Eso es todo, muchas gracias.
I'm going to translate it in English. Good morning, my name is Lupita Marquez. I live in Indian Hill East, and I come here to thank Commissioner Fuentes and his personnel for helping us fix the streets. We had years trying to, for the other commissioners to help us to fix the streets. They were real bad, in very bad conditions. So this one, it really helped. So we really appreciate it. And in the past flood that we had in June, they also helped us a lot. So we really are very thankful for that.
Thank you. Under our consent agenda, any concerns?
No, Judge, none that I'm aware of.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. I would like to take a quick second just to introduce our legal counsel, Jones, Galligan, Keene, Lozano, Mr. Ivan Pettis. He's our new legal counsel for the Drainage District, so just wanted to introduce him really quick. So, okay.
Welcome, Mr. Pettis.
If I may, sir, item 5, presentation by Burt McCumber and Longoria LLP of the Dow County Drainage District 2017 Comprehensive Annual Physical Report and Audit. Mr. Ricky Longoria is here to make the presentation to the board regarding said item. So,
Thank you, Raul. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Good to see you all again. I'm here to present to you all for you all's acceptance the Hidalgo County Drainage District Audit Report for 2017. I've had an opportunity over the past couple of weeks to meet with the majority of you all to go over the report in detail. As you know, it is a pretty lengthy report. It's now starting to approach close to 200 pages now. And so there is a lot more detail than there has been in the past, and I'll explain to you all why in just a second. But certainly I want to continue to offer my time and experience in just conducting the audit and just overall experience to meet with you all and continue to meet with you all on a one-on-one basis to go over this in much more detail. But certainly, as of now, I can report that I've met with the majority of the board of directors. So with that said, it's not my intent to go over again all 176 pages, I believe it is, but I do have a handful of highlights that I would like to just mention. And before I even get into the report, I do need to get into what's called the governance letter. It's a required communication. Probably not the most exciting part of the audit, but it's something that I do need to cover. It is the staple letter that I believe that's included with you all's report. It's not bound or anything, and I just need to roughly go through it and highlight it if y'all don't mind. Again, this letter is addressed to the Board of Directors of the Drainage District Number 1, confirming to y'all that we've audited the financial statements of the governmental activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the district, confirming to y'all the standards that were applied in the conduct of this audit. Certainly, in addition to generally accepted auditing standards, we also applied government auditing standards. There is a uniform guidance criteria that did not apply to the Drainage District in 2017, but which may apply to the Drainage District in 2018. We've been talking with the Finance Director with respect to the level of that work when we finish out this coming year. In terms of significant audit findings, again, just an overview, reminding the readers of financial statements that the footnotes are an integral part of those financial statements. Sometimes people jump straight to the numbers without referring to the footnotes, and a lot of times there's some expanded explanation in that particular area. Reminding folks, of course, that financial statements are not an exact science. There is a lot of estimates involved in coming up with a set of financial statements. For example, coming up with the allowance for doubtful accounts with respect to taxes receivable, for example, is a judgment call. Certainly in this particular case, we refer to historical evidence and data in order to come up with that number. In terms of difficulties encountered in performing the audit, I will say that last year, just to give you a perspective, last year when we finished the audit, we met with management, and it was a goal of management and us as a firm to try to not just conduct an audit like we had done in the past. Certainly, the audit met all the professional standards and whatnot that you would expect, and for which we were engaged to do. But there was a goal set forth by Raul and his staff to have the financial statements earn what's called the GFOA award, the Government Finance Officers Award, and that particular award is an award that sets financial statements to a higher standard, even that of what our profession requires. If you think back to what the county has accomplished over the past 10 years, their financial statements have always earned that award, and it was just, I think it was felt that it was time for the Drainage District to earn that award as well, and so why not collaborate and try to work towards creating even a better financial statement that includes more information and really speaks to the spirit of transparency, so others can know more about the Drainage District's finances as they read through our report. So in that spirit, certainly it's always our goal to try to issue our report within 6 months after year end. Our goal was to try to finish it by June 30th. In fact, the GFOA suggested timeline is 6 months, but they will allow for extensions for a variety of different circumstances. Certainly in this case, the Drainage District did ask for an extension through August 31st because it was the first time that they've ever done it. And I can tell you that there was a lot of time and effort to put this particular report together. I think it's generally accepted wisdom that the first time an entity presents an audit report to the GFOA in order to earn that award, more often than not, entities do not get it. Rather, the report is sent out to reviewers throughout the country who come back with their comments, and then the entity goes back and works on those comments in hopes of earning the award the subsequent year. I will say that it is our hope and our expectation that in the very first year that the GFOA award is given to the Drainage District for 2017. So that's what we're hoping for. And certainly I want to thank the staff for its efforts in trying to meet that goal. In terms of corrected and uncorrected mistakes, certainly with any audit, there are some audit adjustments that arise during the course of an audit, and a lot of times the client, as they reconcile their accounts at year end, will come up with adjustments. So just informing you that we had 26 adjustments that were posted after year end. Also to inform you that certainly I've always appreciated our relationship with the Drainage District and its staff, and can't say that we've ever had any disagreements as defined by professional standards. Certainly we may have differences of opinion, there are professional differences, but certainly nothing that I would call or that would rise to the level of a disagreement. Confirming to you all that we obtained representation letters from management, confirming that to our knowledge there was no opinion shopping by management in terms of seeking out opinions from other auditors in order to find an opinion that they're more satisfied with. And then the other matters disclosed within this particular letter just speaks to our responsibility with respect to those financial statements. There are parts of the report that we don't audit. For example, the MD&A, the transmittal letter, the statistical section in the back. is an unaudited portion of the letter. So it's the last part of this particular governance letter speaks to what our responsibilities with respect to the different parts of the audited financial statements. So that's an overview of this letter. If there are no questions regarding this letter, then I'm going to go ahead and jump into the audit report. Again, as I mentioned, I'm going to bet that the audit report probably grew about a third in terms of information that has been provided in the past, and I think that will serve you well. Certainly, I know that there's been some discussions about maybe going out for bonds for the Drainage District, and I think this additional information will help both the public and the buyers of those bonds in evaluating how from a financial perspective, the Drainage District will handle any bonds that may or may not be approved in the future. I'm going to go ahead and turn to our audit report letter, which is in the tab labeled Independent Auditor's Report. This is a 3-page letter, and again, I will just summarize. This particular letter identifies our audit, the scope of our audit, management's responsibilities, our responsibilities, and ultimately leads to our opinion. And this is really why we get engaged, is to offer an opinion with respect to the financial statements. And I will say this is what's called an unmodified opinion. Most people like to generically call it a clean opinion. But this is a clean opinion with respect to the financial statements that are being presented, and is consistent with opinions that we've expressed in the past. And it basically says that, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the governmental activities, each major fund, and their aggregate remaining fund information of the district as of December 31st, 2017. Again, this report letter speaks to reasonable assurance, and it uses the word material respects. Again, the audit is not an exact science. We don't look at 100% of all transactions. That's not an audit that is conducted under standards. Rather, we perform tests of transactions in order to express our opinion. So it is an unmodified opinion, if you will, clean opinion for 2017, consistent with that of prior years. I wanted, if you allow me to jump straight to what I think is probably the most important number within the audit report, and it's on page 28. And when I say the most important number, that doesn't mean that the other numbers are not unimportant, but rather I think this is the number that most people try to focus on with respect to just a general health of the entity. And on page 28, you'll see all the major funds being presented, and in summary total all the non-major funds. But I think the fund that I would like for us to focus on is the general fund. What is the health of the general fund as of December 31st, 2017? If you look at the general fund, go straight down to the bottom, you'll see a line item that says the unassigned balance. And I would like to report to you that the unassigned balance is $20,209,159. Again, it's maybe more appropriate in the Drainage District audit where you call the unassigned balance your rainy day fund. And certainly that's what's been left over after all the years of revenues over expenditures. And in fact, if you turn over to page 32, you'll see the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances, where you'll see that the general fund had total revenues of $16,512,000. And at the end of the day, if you go straight down to the bottom line, it was able to increase its general fund by $603,994. Certainly at that fund level, relative to expenditures of the Drainage District, I would say that it's a very healthy fund balance. You'll see also on page 32 the amount of money that the Drainage District spends on flood control. For the public's knowledge, total for the year was $11,057,000, which consisted primarily of 139 employees going around maintaining the entire system. I will just refresh everybody's memory with respect to what is the system. The system that the Drainage District owns consists of 256 miles of drainage systems, certainly which is not insignificant. and the Drainage District is also involved in maintaining an additional 328 miles of systems through interlocal agreements it has with a number of entities throughout the county. And so that's the size and scope of the operations of the Drainage District. Any questions so far? And I'll end with one comment. I do think from time to time it's important to not only look at December 31st, 2017, and granted, we as auditors tend to be historians. We tend to live in the past and just confirming what has happened. But I think from time to time you got to remember where you came from. And if you go to page 120, and I just want to point this particular schedule out. It's a fund balance of governmental funds. Specifically, you'll see the general fund on there, and you'll see to the left, you'll see general fund, and then you'll see unassigned. And it tracks what the general fund and the fund balance have been over time. And you'll see certainly the past 3 to 4 years, the fund balance for the Drainage District has been relatively steady. Certainly going back to 2014 when it had a fund balance of $16 million. It's been able to grow its fund balance to $20 million. And I do think, again, just given that this is your rainy day fund, and we certainly had a lot of rain, probably more than we've need, in one particular time. I do think it's important to know kind of where you've been in order to know where you're going. And so, other than that, the board, that's all I really have with respect to the numbers, unless somebody has a question.
The only question I've got is, you've said nothing but good stuff about the Drainage District. For our taxpayers out there, did you find anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, so as a byproduct of any audit, there's always what's considered the management letter, comments and recommendations that are derived during the course of the audit. And I'm actually happy to say that for 2017, certainly we had a comment or two that we felt did not rise to the level that needed to be in writing. I'll give you an example. For example, one of the things we had noticed was a lot of their computer system and data was in a room that was unlocked, for example. And certainly that's a very easy comment. That has to be secure. You want that locked. And so that's a comment that we felt didn't rise to the level that needed to be documented in writing. But there was just a couple of those, Commissioner, that really came up. And other than that, that was basically it.
So Raul's doing a good job.
I think the Drainage District from a fund balance standpoint is doing well. He is responsible for manning that institution with the staff. So I would say he's doing a good job.
Thank you. Thank you, Raul.
Congratulations, Raul, Laura, and Jaime, and all your staff.
That's all I had.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Judge, move to item 6. Excuse me, presentation, discussion of proposed 2018 drainage bond program. So, just for the benefit of the public, and the board of directors approved a Proposition A that will be on the ballot for November 6th for $190 million to develop plans for construction of areas that were heavily impacted by the June events, but also prior events as well. It's not necessarily a response to June. We've had some issues in some areas where these projects, if the bond is approved, will be developed and put into place to mitigate further flooding. So what we've done is we put together a calendar for this month of October, and I believe that calendar is there before the board, which talks about the outreach that the Drainage District is doing, just educational outreach. We want to educate the public as far as the projects are concerned. We have different presentations, town hall meetings that we're calling. We've had some already with McAllen. We've had some with with Hidalgo ISD. We've had some with the City of Mission. And we're going to continue that trend with the rest of the cities, areas, and school districts. Again, our effort is to educate the public on what these proposed projects are. There are 38 projects identified as part of the improvements that will be done. The plan development or the approach that we've taken for these projects are we do have development costs in place because our focus is to have all the projects designed and construction, if we're successful in the bond election, to have start the construction process early next year on the projects that are available. We have right-of-way available, and we anticipate a 3-year program for this. We're going to be very assertive in getting these projects out for construction. The district, even though it does have the capability of doing in-house design and improvements, our focus is going to be to get this out to the street, to get it out as quick as possible. If we do see the need in the 3rd year to step in and assist in any way to finish off projects or because of funding or add additional projects in areas that have identified more than what's on the list, the district is willing to do that as well. So we do have on our website information sheets. We have prepared individual information sheets for all the projects and for individual precinct locations, and those will be available as well for the public. We want, again, to present all the information to the public so they can make an informed decision November 6th. We'll continue this trend. We'll have our website up and running. We've also reached out to the local media outlets. There was, I believe, an article written in the Monitor today showing the scheduled agenda that we have, town hall meetings and presentations. So I wanted to lay out also in the cost of the development. We do have a 10% cost associated with development costs that deal with surveying, engineering, construction management. We do have a cap on that. We're proposing 10% for those services, and we want to be transparent about that. We want to be on the record with that. There are a lot of questions that come up as far as where these monies will go and will they go to other projects, and the commitment from all the board members has been that it's strictly for these projects that are identified, for the improvements of these projects that are identified, and any monies that are not invested in these projects, there are additional projects identified as the June event that those monies will go towards as well. We're not going to be diverting any money anywhere else. I know there was some questions about in the past what had been done, and we went into detail about 2006-07 in our advisory committee that those funds were diverted to the levies. However, there's nothing in this program regarding those type of improvements. This is solely focused for the immediate impact to the affected areas. And again, the board has been very vocal about that, and if the board wishes to make any statements now, would be the time for the public to understand that our focus is to get these projects off and running as soon as the bond is approved, with the understanding that we do have a 10% cap on any type of design service or development costs that are associated with it. So those have been the main questions that we've gotten from the public as far as design cost and monies, how they will be invested, or are they subject to moving anywhere. So I don't know if the board has any comments on that. So,
well, I mean, my comment is in the years that I've been here, we've had some really big rain events, uncommon rain events, especially this last one in June. When you have a 500-year storm, I mean, it just talks about the likelihood of something happening. That doesn't mean that we're going to have to wait 500 years for it to happen again. It can happen tomorrow. And some of these storms, they're not like hurricanes where you can prepare and do more to be prepared when it happens. And to see what the county went through in June, and so what we're doing is taking a proactive approach and hoping that this doesn't happen again, because it comes down to Mother Nature. But we got to be as prepared as possible. And we all understand that we have, over $1 billion worth of improvements that we need. But just to sit back and say, let's wait till we get $1 billion, that's never going to happen. So we got to take this approach and try to do $190 million worth of improvements to areas that we know were affected in June, that we know that were affected before, and we just can't sit back. And so we try to present the best projects going forward, hoping and studying and hiring the right people to identify the effects of putting these projects into place. Hiring experts. We're not experts, but we rely on experts. And we put these projects together for the benefit of the community so that we don't have people flooded and underwater on the expressway, which people expect to be open and easy to drive. And in our neighborhoods where we had water in homes, where we had school districts that lost, millions of dollars because of the amount of rain we had. So it's my responsibility to do as much as we can to move the right projects forward, and I'm confident that these projects are the right projects at this time, and that's why we're going to be out there, proposing to the community to vote their conscience, vote what they feel, but this is our responsibility as county commissioners to put this forward, and I'm confident that we have the right projects.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would like to add, Judge, would you like?
No, go ahead.
I'd just like to add that, the other question have come up is, is this the only funding? No. This board is always proactive in trying to seek state and federal funding. We're working with our partners in the state level to try to get funding down. We've gotten probably over $35 million of General Land Office money that we've developed several projects in several areas that we've gotten positive responses from the residents that say, hey, this last event, I didn't flood, because those projects mitigated those issues, and that's the intent here. And as Commissioner said, we don't want to sit back. We want to take a proactive role. We do pursue also partnerships with TxDOT. We're developing outfalls with TxDOT and trying to get federal funding through TxDOT to improve outfalls that they're needing for their roadway development. But at the same time, we want to make sure that the drainage component is addressed. So this board has been very proactive, in my office as well, in developing partnerships and trying to seek additional funding beyond what this bond issuance will bring if approved. So just for the benefit of the public, we are actively pursuing other grants and other sources of revenue to continue to improve drainage in our county.
All right, any further discussion?
That's all I had on the presentation.
I would like to move back to item number 5. I've been advised that the presentation requires a motion to accept the audit.
I apologize.
So moved.
Rule second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. If I may, item 7, discussion and update as it relates to our condition in Warren Peñitas Pump Station and Levee Rehabilitation Project. Just for the board's knowledge and the public, that project is finally under construction. They had the pre-construction conference this past Friday. Notice to proceed was issued, a 10-day notice, and they have 1 calendar year to complete the project. It's a partnership with Idel County Irrigation District Number 1, my office, and IBWC. So we'll fund the improvements of the Peñita Pump House and the lateral walls to go adjacent 20-foot each way. Once we finish that project, then the federal government will come in with their levee walls and connect to it as well. So it's a flood control project. It's a requirement as part of the commitment that the federal government has to shore up the levees regarding flood control, and that's why the Drainage District is involved. And obviously, it's a facility at Idel County Irrigation District Number 1, so we're working with them. Just wanted to brief the board that project should be successfully completed within 1 year, calendar year. So.
Raul,
Yes, sir.
When was the last time we started talking about this? When was the first time?
The Peñitas Pump House, it's been, I've been at the district 3 years, sir, and I think you started a year before I did, so it's been about 4 years.
Yes.
At least.
It was the last hurricane. Remember, we were trying to get
When,
the water in there.
in 20, you're correct. Yes, sir. In 20, well, it's been actually, it's been longer, Commish, because it's been, 2010 was when we had Hurricane Alex, when we had the storm event up in Mexico and then the water was diverted and we had to build a berm around there, and with the
Yeah, I remember.
concern that it could give, so we built a berm around it and everything. I remember the mobilized out there. I was with the county at the time, and I worked that area as well. But I know the district mobilized at the time with the contractor to elevate like a secondary levee, so to speak. Yeah. So that was after 2010. So I guess 8 years in the making. I know 4 years was they had put it out for construction, and then they had some issues with the actual soil condition in front of the pump house, so they went to a different approach. And, thank God that we're finally here, and it is being funded by the federal government. We are being 100% reimbursed for the construction and the construction inspection services. So it's a good project for our area. That will shore up that area there.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Thank you. Item 8, request approval of closing documents, parcel 1, as it relates to Sunflower Drain Extension Project. Authority for Chairman of the Board to execute documents.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9, request approval for an AEP easement as it relates to Dow County Drainage District 1 Administration Building, and authority for the Chairman of the Board to execute document.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 10A, application for payment number 1 in the amount of $158,342.40 from Brittany Construction LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-18-015-0328 J09 Drain Improvements Phase 2 Roadway and Field Crossings.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, requesting approval of a master interlocal cooperative purchasing agreement with National IPA with the purpose of participating in the cooperative purchasing program as an additional procurement resource with authority for the Chairman of the Board to execute document and thus permit Dow County Drainage District 1 to complete and file the online National IPA member registration, subject to legal review.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, pursuant to the Board's approval of the intergovernmental cooperative purchasing agreement requesting authority to purchase new ACD number 1 administration building furniture to include installation in the amount of $136,026.81 through the ACD 1 participation membership with National IPA Purchasing Cooperative Program from the award vendor Hahn Company, Carroll Gateway Printing and Office Supply, contract number R142208, quote number 425392.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12, A, approval of certificate of substantial completion or certificate of construction completion for Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number 16040816 East Island Drain Flood Pump Improvement.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, application for payment number 6, retains release in the amount of $103,277.58 from Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number 16040816 East Island Drain Flood Pump Improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
12C, approval to rescind agenda item number 64254. Item B, certificate of construction completion pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-160410-816 South Mercedes Lateral Flood Pump Drainage Improvement due to change on final contract amount.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, approval of revised certificate of construction completion to replace item noted on item A.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item E, approval to rescind agenda item number 64254. Item D, application for payment number 3 in the amount of $81,330.33 from Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-160410-816 South Mercedes Lateral Flood Pump Drainage Improvement. This item was corrected with agenda item number 65150, item D, in the amount of $661.50 on Board of Directors meeting June 5th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Application for payment number 4, retains release in the amount of $81,403.83 for Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACD 1-160410-816 South Mercedes Lateral Flood Pump Drainage Improvement.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G, approval to rescind action item number 64253. Item B, certificate of construction completion for obtaining construction contract number ACDD 1-160390-816 Mercedes Lateral Flood Pump Drainage Improvement due to change on final contract amount.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item H, approval to revise certificate of construction completion to replace item noted on item A.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval to rescind agenda item number 64253. Item D, application for payment number 6 in the amount of $69,760.41 Morwell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACD 116039086 Mercedes Lotto flood pump drainage improvement. This item was corrected. Agenda item number 65150, item E, in the amount of $661.50 on Board of Director meeting June 5th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item J, application for payment number 7, retained release in the amount of $69,833.91 from Morwell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACD 116039086 Mercedes Lotto flood pump drainage improvement.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 13, approval to issue payment on the following items proceeding review and compliance with contract term and conditions. CP 130 budget 005 new administration building application payment number 5 in the amount of $289,753.20.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 14, requesting approval of supplemental agreement number 1 to add language in relation to the Article 6.1 requested for payment for professional engineering services agreement with South Texas Infrastructure Group for the revisions or plan specification estimates, design surveys for RCW subdivision drainage improvement, project contract number CACD 1-1803-50619, subject to final legal review and compliance, House Bill 1295, if applicable.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 15A, application for payment number 3 in the amount of $171,845.64 from Jimenez Engineering Solutions, LLC, DBA International Consulting Engineers related to construction contract number ACD 1-1700500221 Farmer Callan South Drain Outfall Improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 16A, request approval to issue payment on award of special commission pertaining to condemnation proceedings for cost number CCD 0433-D, parcel number 15, precinct 1, fee simple right-of-way.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, approval to issue payment on 3 special commission fees related to cost number CCD 0433-D as noted in item A above.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, request approval to issue payment on award of special commissions pertaining to condemnation proceedings for cost number CCD 0434-D, parcel 22, and E3, precinct 1, fee simple right-of-way.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, approval to issue payment on 3 special commissioners' fees related to cost number CCD 0434-D as noted in item C above.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
17, request approval of budget amendment to transfer into the capital project fund from district general fund the amount of $550,000 for the final completion and construction of district administration building.
So moved.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We do not have any executive item.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, sir. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, posted for today, October the 9th, 2018. Present are Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what's best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right. We're going to be moving up certain items. We're going to be moving up item number 6B under our district attorney's office.
As we're waiting for them to come up, we have some visitors from Lamar Academy.
We won't take any action. That's what I told him.
We're just doing it. Okay. Can you let him go in? And I'll slow it down.
Should have seen it.
Do you want to pause now? Please?
No voy a open it up.
I opened it.
Do I read the title? Right here? So I can read it?
Tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
Squeeze all the way. I can't see the DA.
I feel like I'm going to be reading too slow or too fast. I'm like sweating.
She opened it. Nobody else opened it. Let him know that I opened it up.
Somebody else. Thank you, sir.
Did you open this one?
No, that one abrió ella.
Oh.
He was already open. No, I'm going to get that.
Wow. What an impressive group.
Oh, yeah.
All right, our DA, Mr. Rodriguez.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioner Flores, Commissioner Cantu. We have some young, bright individuals up here who want to address the Commissioner's Board.
Thank you.
Proclamation declaring October 2018 National Bullying Prevention Month. Whereas bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, or emotional harm or intimidation intentionally directed at a person or group of people, and
whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and through technology, such as the internet and cell phones, and
whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually, and
whereas thousands of Hidalgo County children and adolescents are affected by bullying annually, and
whereas targets of bullying are more likely to acquire physical, emotional, and learning problems, and students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, and attending community activities. And
whereas children who bully are at greater risk of engaging in more serious violent behaviors, and
whereas children who witness bullying often feel less secure, more fearful, and intimidated.
Whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office and the students of Lamar Academy encourages the citizens of Hidalgo County to observe National Bullying Prevention Month with activities and conversations about respectful and nonviolent relationships in their homes, schools, and communities.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the month of October as Bullying Prevention Month and encourages Hidalgo County residents to attend scheduled awareness and education events.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Would one of you ladies tell us who is here?
Oh, really quickly, Well, this is IB at Lamar Academy, the people wearing the blue shirts. I'd just like to say thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to give thanks to my principal, Ms. Cindy Peña, and my teacher, Ms. Tames and Ms. Gutierrez. It's really awesome to be a part of something that advocates for kindness and for empathy. Oftentimes I feel we forget that our actions and our words have a very big impact on the people around us. So anything that we can do to make people feel more comfortable or realize their strengths and their qualities that bring out the best in them, I think is amazing. So thank you very much.
Thank you all for being here.
I'm Sarah Mendez, and I'm a senior at IB Lamar.
And I'm Valeria Arguelles, also a senior at IB at Lamar.
And I know we have our school superintendent from the McAllen, and
Yes.
one of our school board members, Mr. Saldivar.
Yes, sir. Yes. And our DA. I did want to take this opportunity, Judge. Thank you so much, and to the commissioners, thank you for taking time to recognize Lamar. We know that bullying is something that happens either directly, indirectly, or through cyberspace, and our students are caring. Our students are powerful with regard to the message they're bringing forward. And at the end of the day, we want every child to come to school to learn, to feel nurtured and loved, and to know that everybody around them supports them and loves them. And when the base of that love and when the base of that drive is coming from the student body, it says a lot about McAllen ISD. It says a lot about Region 1 and all the great things that are going on in Hidalgo County. So thank you all very much. We appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you.
Judge, Commissioners, I just would like to, take this opportunity to thank you again for having us here and for adopting this proclamation. It's very important to these young individuals who are here before you today who have done such great work, themselves, the principals, the teachers, McAllen ISD. I commend them for being at the forefront and for coming together, to stop bullying and send a message out there that, that we should care about everyone. There should be love for everyone, and we need to stop bullying. I tell you this, Judge, Commissioners, you don't know how many calls I get from adults in the sense of how can I stop bullying? Someone's bullying me through social media. These are adults, that I get calls from. Look at these students here, what they're doing. If it affects adults, it affects even students more, who are weak sometimes and can't take that bullying as some adults can. So I want to commend them for what they're doing. Keep fighting for all the students, that are within your community, within your schools. And again, we have joined forces just to, make sure that they know that us adults are also supporting them as much as possible. So thank you again for making that happen. Thank you.
Also, thank you for McAllen Boys and Girls Club for being here.
All right.
We're a team. We're all a team. Thank you.
How do you want to do
We
this?
can go over there.
Would that be easier?
And if you've taken notice, we have law enforcement and different organizations that also have joined us as well. So thank you for being here.
I think it's better if we...
This is fine if you just stand here in front?
You need to come see if you can get the picture.
Yeah, I think
Good job.
Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for everything what you're doing. Thank you. Beautiful kids.
we can share. We'll share the photos if you want to do that. Do you want to bring so I can get the chairs for you?
Estás muy alto, Commissioner.
Eddie, how are you? Nice to see you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you again for your support.
She's getting some chairs. Judge.
She's always done a good job.
Thank you very much.
Who's the one that sings? Right? Other than you? You hear her sing? She sings very... Awesome. I thought you were going to sing today.
We've got some with the banner shown. I think so.
Okay. Go behind me. Just make sure that...
I think I wonder if we can put the banner in front of the podium.
Or we can hold it. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, you first, guys, okay? Okay, gonna take them now, okay? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then one more, smile, and then... You guys, did you get what you needed? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Sue, thank you for everything.
I appreciate everything.
Still got that pop-up in mind. I got it. Whenever you need.
It's a collaboration of many of us.
Judge, gracias. We have one more. Hey, Vivian. Wonderful. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Back to Julie.
Yeah.
¿Qué mensaje no en la silla tuya?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. On behalf of the District Attorney's Office, Julia Sullivan of Public Affairs, item number 6A is a proclamation declaring October 2018 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity due to systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control. Domestic violence extends to the abuse of children and the elderly. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any one group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole here in this community, throughout the United States, and in the world. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office Victims Unit and Hidalgo County Family Violence Task Force, in collaboration with other local groups and agencies, are working to educate the public about the resources available for victims of domestic violence. And whereas survivors of domestic violence themselves have been at the forefront of efforts to bring peace and equality to the home, domestic violence can no longer be treated as a silent epidemic. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims the month of October 2018 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urges all citizens to actively participate in scheduled activities and programs to work toward eradicating domestic violence, improving victim safety, and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims and our society as a whole. Approve this 9th day of October 2018.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And I'd like to introduce our esteemed Criminal District Attorney, Ricardo Rodriguez, Jr.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Thank you, Julia. Again, Judge, Commissioners, thank you for your continued support, especially on the domestic violence awareness as we celebrate this month, being Domestic Violence Awareness. What we've done as a District Attorney's Office for quite some time now, for 4 years exactly, is we worked up and built a team. When I talk about a team, I'm talking about our assistant district attorneys, our prosecutors, our staff, our crime victims unit. But outside the office, we've also built a team, with different organizations, with different law enforcement agencies, with different advocates, to be that voice for the victims that exist today, for those victims that have fought through many difficult instances, and they're survivors today. And us being here today, it's very important, and you recognizing us and the victims out there, it's very important because domestic violence does exist within our communities. It does exist within our homes. And it comes in many ways, whether it's mental abuse, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical. It comes in many ways, and it does not discriminate. It affects many individuals. It doesn't matter what the status of that individual is. So by all of us coming together, we've been doing a whole lot of prevention awareness. The prosecution part, I'm very happy to say that our prosecutors are being efficient and effective in prosecuting these cases and bringing justice to the victims. But we have to do more than that. And that's what we've been doing for 4 years now. Because you have a situation where there is an individual out there that is a victim today and doesn't know how to disengage, doesn't know where to go to, doesn't know what information to seek, doesn't know what services to seek. That is vital and very important for that individual because they know that there's someone that's there to support them. And again, there's many scenarios and instances where we've had individuals that just don't know how to disengage, don't know where to go to. So what you've done here and what everyone has done here with the support is we've been able to give that voice for that individual and provide as much information as we can, because I know that throughout these years, working together hand in hand and doing as much prevention awareness as we have, I know it's helping our community. And I know it's helping that individual out there that needs help. So again, on behalf of the District Attorney's Office and everyone that's here, we thank you. And we tell the public, please, let this issue not be silent anymore. Let us talk about it. Let's have conversations. The other day I had a conversation with a domestic violence survivor. And again, she explained that it was hard for her to disengage. When you're talking about an individual that has a family, that has kids, that's married, they're concerned about their children, they're concerned about their financial status, they're concerned about their marriage, it's difficult for that person. But again, in knowing that there's so much help and support, it's that much easier for that person to make it in life. So again, thank you for everything that you've done. Again, I want to thank everyone that's here for always supporting this great cause, whether it's here, whether it's in the events that we've had. Thank you for always supporting. So again, thank you. We'll be here again next year, and every person that's out there, I want every person to know that together we're going to keep fighting for these individuals, and hopefully we can stop the abuse. So gracias. Thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, on behalf of the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office Victims Unit and the Hidalgo County Family Violence Task Force, which is comprised of all the individuals that you see here today, we would like to thank you and show our appreciation for everything that you've done to support our prevention efforts, like Mr. Rodriguez stated. We just want to take a moment to recognize the agencies that are here today with us. We have, of course, we have Lamar Academy. We have the Young Hearts Matter Teen Ambassadors. The Teen Ambassadors carry a strong message, not just today, but during the month of February. They do all our teen dating violence prevention on campus in different schools throughout our county. And they also represent our area at the state level. So they will be joining other schools around the state in February with their statewide campaign against dating violence. We have the Hidalgo County DA's Office Juvenile Division, Assistant District Attorneys. We have Judge Maxine Longoria-Nash, which is the chief for our Civil Juvenile Division. We have the U.S. Border Patrol, Edinburgh PD, the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, San Juan PD, the Texas Department of Public Safety, South Texas College Police Department, West Seco PD, the LRGVDC, Constable from Precinct 2, Safe Haven Forensics Program, Constable Gaitan, and anybody else that's here today joining us to end domestic violence in our county. We want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Let me just say something really quick. Just Rick and Rosie and your office, what a tremendous job. Keep it up. You've already done a tremendous amount of work, but let's keep it going.
Thank you.
You've done a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just leave them.
I think I needed like 3 or 4 colors to give it.
Is this good?
Everyone look forward, please, and smile. Okay, on the count of 3, please. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You all right?
Thanks for being here.
Judge, we do have a 10:30 scheduled public hearing under the Health Department. It is 10:43, so if we could go to 16E2. 16E2.
Are we kind of close?
Let's get it out of the way.
16E2. All right, we're going to be moving up an item, taking it out of order again. That would be item number 16E2A. A public hearing to consider public comments concerning the amount of mandatory payments required to be paid by paying hospitals for fiscal year 2019 and how the revenue derived from those payments is to be spent.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. Thank you for covering this issue on this public hearing. So I want to go over this real quick. This involves the local participation provider fund, which is the hospital's contribution into the 1115 waiver and how that is dealt with. The consideration and possible approval of mandatory payment to be assessed quarterly by Hidalgo County Healthcare Funding District on the net patient revenue of institutional health care providers and how the revenue diverted from those payments is to be spent. The recommendation, sir, is that the rate be set at 6% annually, and to be drawn down on quarterly payments in November of 18, January of 2019, May of 2019, and August of 2019, for a total amount available to draw down quarterly of $83,222,500. So that's what the hearing is about. In case anyone has any questions or comments, that's the overall general review of the proposal.
And this does not involve any of our tax dollars.
No, sir. This is 100% from the hospital's contribution, or correction, the hospital participation fund. Sorry, wrong word. Participation fund that is given to help with the 1115 waiver that we're using, sir.
All right. Is there anyone here that desires to make any comment on this matter?
One question. This is just for 1 year at the 6%, yes, and then next year it can go to 3 or 2?
Whatever is recommended. Yes.
Because they're looking at the money that's at the state level, and the federal.
May I answer the question, sir?
Yes.
What we're looking at, the rate is set based on their contribution levels, and that would be matched at the federal level, and that would come pass through the state.
But like I said, they only do the 6% long as there's big money up there. Because that's the bigger the percentage, the more money they get.
Of course, the larger percentage, they get a higher amount of money, but is determined by the federal government, the state, and them all working together. It's not them telling us, it's them all working together, discussing it.
Anyone else? No one else? No one else here? That this time we're going to close the public hearing.
Sir, with your permission, I'd like to move to item 2B, consideration possible approval of mandatory payment to be assessed quarterly by Hidalgo County Health Care Funding District on the net patient revenue of institutional health care provider and how the revenue diverted from this payment is to be spent. The discussion was it to be quarterly, and the total was $82,222,500, sir.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item C is consideration and approval for Hidalgo County Tax Assessor Collector to collect the mandatory payment required by Hidalgo County Healthcare Funding District. As indicated, that would be at 6% at $83,222,500 on 4 quarterly payments starting November of 2018, sir.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item D is consideration approval to assess mandatory payment and annual rate, sir, of 6% annual rate.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And consideration approval to set the quarterly assessment dates, which is November 2018, November 2018, January 2019, May 2019, and August 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. I'll come back later for the rest of the items.
Well, just take care of the indigent health care.
Sir, under item F1, sir, there is no items there unless there's any questions.
So, never mind.
And you had one more, that would be...
I have items under Health and Human Services, sir,
I
but there's
see.
several.
All right. Do you want to take care of them?
If you give me permission, sir, I'd be thankful.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Thank you, sir. Under item 16, Health and Human Services, A, requesting approval to submit an amendment request to the Department of State Health Services to amend grant number 2016-003876, amendment number 3. The purpose is to reallocate funds between budget categories.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item B, sir, we are not taking any action on that item today.
All right.
Item C is approval of certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor for a program income earned in the amount of $112.20 from the Child Health FY18 grant program.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And number 2 is approval of appropriations of funds in the amount of $112.20.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item D, sir, is approval of certification of revenue as certified by county auditor for the program income earned in the amount of $536.92 from the perinatal FY18 grant program, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item 2 is approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $536.92, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And item E1, sir, there is no questions, and there's no items there unless you have any questions, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Eddie. All right, we move back to our consent agenda. Any concerns?
Yes. Judge, Commissioners, we do have one consent agenda item concern. Item 5B. With respect to item 5B, I'm going to ask the court in its motion to accept the consent agenda to make 5B subject to the permit fee being obtained from the applicants, which is $500.
So that's my motion.
Well, your motion should be approved.
Move through,
Without
yes.
5B.
Yeah, without 5B. That's
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And the consent agenda item 5B, again, it is contingent with the permit fee being obtained in the amount of $500 from the applicants.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. What about the rest of the consent agenda?
It was approved, Judge. It was the
All
first
right.
one. It was the first action item.
All right, then moving on to item number 5A.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Julia Sullivan, Public Affairs, under County Judge, the County Judge's Office. Item 5A is a proclamation declaring October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Stand to my right. Have everybody stand to my right. Okay, as they're getting settled, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas the citizens of Hidalgo County value the benefits of good health as a key component of a long, productive, and fulfilling life, and proudly support observances that focus public attention on critical health issues such as breast cancer awareness. And whereas breast cancer is the most prevalent cancer and the second most common cause of cancer-related death among Texas women, it's expected that as many as 15,000 new cases will be diagnosed this year. And whereas it is important to realize that breast cancer does not only affect women. According to the American Cancer Society, 1 in 1,000 men will also be diagnosed with breast cancer in his lifetime. And whereas prevention and early detection are the keys to survival, while there are factors known to increase a woman's risk of developing breast cancer, nearly 80% of women diagnosed do not exhibit any of the determinant factors. Early detection of signs and symptoms of breast cancer can increase the survival rate by nearly 95%. And whereas during this month-long observance, all Hidalgo County residents in participation with Doctors Hospital at Renaissance Health System and the Advanced Care Center are encouraged to join in related activities and initiatives that help raise support and awareness of this very serious health concern. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims the month of October 2018 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Hidalgo County and encourages residents to join in the global fight against this devastating disease.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approve this 9th day of October 2018. And joining us to say a few words, and he can introduce everybody else, is Mario Liscano, Administrator of Corporate Affairs at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance.
Thank you so much. Honorable Judge and County Commissioners, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity this morning. With me, we are joined with Elizabeth Jandro, our Advanced Care Center Director, and her staff. For the past 30 years, October has been designated as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But it is through our efforts as of today that we are seeing the numbers decrease in making sure that we have increased awareness. Of course, with the awareness comes increased screenings and also more alternate options for treatment. So we thank you on behalf of our DHR health system, also the Advanced Care Center, along with all your different departments for allowing us to be here today to make sure that we continue to bring this awareness that it affects us all. I'd also like to take this time to recognize Hidalgo County Clerk Office, Mr. Arturo Jardo Jr., for his efforts and always supporting us. This is his 5th year that his department joins us in these efforts, and today all his staff was wearing pink as well. We're heading over there to his office to make a formal presentation, so I'd like to thank his staff for supporting us, all of you all of the departments, and on behalf of DHR, our administration, physicians, our over 5,000 employees, thank you for everything you do, and may God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Mario. Next item is 5B.
Good morning. Item 5B is a proclamation declaring October 18th, 2018 as Peer Support Day. Whereas Peer Support Day is a global celebration that occurs annually on the third Thursday of in October. Peer supporters, who are also known as peer providers from across the globe, reflect on and celebrate the important role that he or she plays in helping those with mental health, addiction, and or trauma-related challenges. And whereas peer supporters are trained providers who use their experiences to encourage, engage, and support others with mental health, addiction, and or trauma-related challenges using the recovery model and principles and values of peer support to provide hope, support, and to be a role model of recovery. And whereas the belief that recovery is possible for all who experience mental health, addiction, and or trauma-related challenges is fundamental to the practice of peer support. Peer supporters use the working definition of recovery, the guiding principles of recovery, and core values to empower and assist their peers live a life of his or her choosing, improving the likelihood of a long-term recovery. And whereas peer support has proven to be a cost-effective treatment for mental health, addiction, and traumatic challenges, reduces inpatient hospital days, recidivism rates, and increases a patient, who's also referred to as consumer, the patient's ability to access expensive and more restrictive community-based services. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims October 18th, 2018 is Peer Support Day and supports efforts to increase public awareness of peer support services and how they impact the lives of countless seniors, adults, children, and families within the health and human services industry.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approve this 9th day of October 2018. And joining us, I'll introduce Ms. Rebecca Stalker, who's the Executive Director of the Hope Family Health Center, to say a few words and introduce the people she's with.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm happy to be here today to represent Hope Family Health Center and our peer support department. We have with us our peer team as well as some of our partners in the community, and Anna Gray, who is from San Antonio, and she's from Prosumers International and has really guided us through our peer support program. As we've heard, peers are instrumental in building recovery for mental health services. In 2015, Hope started our peer support program, and since then we have provided groups, individuals, families with peer support services to help them build on the model of recovery. Our peer support services concentrate on depression and anxiety and mood disorders, and we have helped people through some of the most challenging obstacles that they do face. I'm very proud to have the groups at the clinic as well as in the San Juan Community Clinic Precinct 2, Community Center Precinct 2, and at our partners with El Milagro Clinic. Starting later on this year, we are going to have a peer support warm line service for our community to call in and to receive one-on-one talking, our one-on-one conversation and support through the phone. So people will have that support. They don't have to come in, and we're very much looking forward to it. I thank you all for joining us and celebrating peers and celebrating recovery with us. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's see if Mario want to say something on behalf of the board, because he's on our board.
Mario, you've never been shy.
Oh, no, just thank you so much. As you all know, we work diligently with Hope Family Health Center, and as part of a board member, we're just so happy for your continued support. And you would see the immense number that our team works with, the people that are reached, the people that are serviced. And that's why we're here today, because we wanted to make sure, as the message is getting across, that that we should all serve each other, and we should all help each other. So thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
We're going to take two more items out of order, and we're going to be moving on to item number 23A under Precinct 3.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Victor Gallo with Precinct 3. 23A, approval of work authorization number 2, as submitted by Javier Hinojosa Engineering, contract number C17-329-1219, to provide engineering services required for the preparation of construction plans for the paving and drainage improvements for Western Road from mile 12 to mile 14.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
23B, acceptance and approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of Benitez for overlaying Tom Gill Road, consisting of approximately 15,571 linear feet, beginning 500 linear feet north of U.S. Highway 83 to Follow Street in the City of Benitez.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
23B2, in accordance with the Texas Government Code 791.014, requesting approval for the interlocal cooperation agreement of a proposed project to overlay Tom Gill from 500 linear feet north of U.S. Highway 83 to Follow Street, consisting of approximately 15,571 linear feet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All right, we move back to item number 6C under our DA's office. No action, you said?
Right, 6C, there is no action.
Good morning, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu, presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6D, the DA Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant Fund 1281. Number 1 is the approval to accept the Hidalgo County Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant from the Office of the Governor in the amount of $131,969.96, effective September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2 is the approval of certification of revenues as certified by the County Auditor for FY 2018 Hidalgo County Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 3 is the approval to appropriate the FY 2018 Hidalgo County Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6E, DA's Title 4E Fund 1100, approval of the revised Title 4E grant budget for October 1st. Contract number 23941008 for October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
6F, District Attorney TTBH Fund 1281. Number 1 is approval to rescind action taken on Agenda Item 66658, Regular Commissioners Court, September 25th, 2018.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2 is discussion, consideration, and approval of amendment to the internal agreement between the Tropical Texas Behavioral Health and the Hidalgo County by and through the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 3 is authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign amendment to the interlocal agreement, award, and related documents.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval. Number 4 is the approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $25,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 5 is the approval of the appropriation of funds.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 6 is the approval to authorize the supplemental pay allowance for the following employee effective 10/1/2018.
Employee number 10611, current supplemental pay is $11,730, and proposed supplemental pay is $19,580.
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 7, our planning department.
Should start with 3 because people are here for 7-3.
She's going to use it.
Should start with 7-3.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. TJ Arredondo for the record.
TJ, you want to start with 7-3 since you have
If
a
you'd
lot
like me
of
to,
people
sir.
here? I mean, it's the subdivision rules.
That item is discussion and possible action to adopt amendments and/or additions to the following sections of the Hidalgo County subdivision rules. Title A, Title B, I'll read out the entire line item, all 3 line items. Title A, Title B, and Title M, Chapter 2, General Subdivision Design, street lights, filling stations, bus stops, cul-de-sac lengths, and relocation of utility facilities. Appendix 5, County Construction Specifications, we're talking about drainage. And Appendix 9, County Details and Specifications, paving. We do have a PowerPoint presentation. I've also been asked by members of the audience to have 2 individuals come up and just have a minute to make some comments. I don't know if you want to do that now or after the presentation.
However you want to handle it.
Why don't we do, TJ, why don't we do the
Presentation first?
presentation?
Okay. So we'll go ahead and start. And this presentation has been presented to the court before as in the form of a workshop, with the exception of a couple of items. Bus stops and drainage was finalized recently. But we can go ahead and start off with the first item, street lights. Street light infrastructure, including but not limited to poles, lamps, and transformers, shall be required in all subdivisions that are proposing internal streets and shall be provided by the subdivider. Street lights shall be installed at all intersections, cul-de-sacs, and at every 250 feet along the length of all internal streets. Any specifications which differ from the above mentioned shall require utility company and county approval. In addition, the subdivider shall deposit an escrow of not less than $180 per street light in order for the service to be provided to the subdivision for 1 calendar year. So basically, we had the pilot program which had an application attached to it, required 75% signatures from the citizens. With these rules, we're going to go ahead and collect an escrow up front, which will give us time to get those lights on immediately through a county account, and then have enough time to send out that tax bill where we'll start recuperating from the residents. So this is our recommendation for street lights. I don't know if there's any questions regarding the first item.
Go ahead.
Okay. Next item is bus stops. Bus stops shall be placed at every subdivision entrance and shall be constructed as per county specifications, and we do have a sample design right there. So this, basically, we were discussing sidewalks initially because of various issues, maintenance being one of them. We went ahead and looked at the bus stops for the entire county as far as entrances into subdivisions. So that's one of the items that you didn't see the last time. Any questions? Next item is filling stations. And a lot of these items were approved by court previously. We're just having them added formally to the subdivision rules book. So filling stations, also known as fire hydrants. Subdivisions that are proposing multifamily use, commercial use, institutional use, and more than 4 single-family lots that are located beyond 600 feet of a filling station or fire hydrant shall install filling stations so that no lot is located more than 600 feet from a filling station. If there are no questions on that, the next item is cul-de-sac streets. Maximum length of cul-de-sac streets shall be 660 feet as measured from the center line of the intersection to a radius point for subdivision streets serving 10 or more lots. Maximum length of cul-de-sac streets shall be 1320 feet as measured from the center line of the intersection to cul-de-sac radius points for subdivisions serving less than 10 lots. So basically, we're allowing a longer street with a turnaround for subdivisions that are serving 10 or less. There's no need for a turnaround in the middle, as you see in the other drawing, where you have more lots. The next item is pavement specifications for Type D pavement. We are going with a 2-inch hot mix on these minor roads, 24-inch thermoplastic stop bar for stops that are bounding the subdivision, and a 24-inch O-base stop bar for internal street stop signs. Now the 2 inches is increased from 1.5, but it may be reduced back to 1.5 with an approved geotechnical report. So our requirement's 2 inches, but if the engineer provides a geotechnical report to our in-house engineers that we have, Mr. Cecine and his staff, if it's approved by them, they could reduce it back to 1.5.
Is this compacted or what?
I'm sorry?
Is this compacted?
Yes, sir. Subdivision frontage on existing county roads. In instances where the abutting county road is unopened or completely lacks an all-weather surface, basically a dirt road, or drainage facilities, the developer shall fully construct the road without county participation in order to meet the needs of the proposed development. This is changed from allowing a 1/3 escrow on roads where basically they're non-existent. That's the change there. If we do have a subdivision with a frontage off of a Caliche road or a road that needs improvement, then at that point we'll still collect the 1/3. There are no questions on that item. The next item is irrigation canals. No open irrigation canals except main canals shall be permitted within a subdivision. The subdivider shall place said canal underground if its continued use is required by the irrigation district or water district. If the required pipe is 36 inches or under, the conversion of the canal system to a pipe system shall conform to irrigation or water district standards and county standards and specifications and shall be installed at the expense of the subdivider. That's it for my presentation. I think Mr. Cecine has comments on the drainage policies that we're proposing.
His drainage policies? Okay. The drainage district, obviously, the process that we follow, we review all development that comes through the county at the drainage district. We have my staff engineers review it and then issue comments before it gets to planning. One of the things that we look at is as Mr. Arredondo mentioned, the street design, and we recommended the 2-inch with the geotechnical evaluation to go to 1.5 based on the amount of traffic that road will take. Just for an example of some of the things we do there, and drainage is one of the big issues that we look at. So we're proposing a 50-year detention requirement. So what does that mean? Well, that just means a higher level of protection in the rural area to accommodate the runoff being generated from that development. So currently we are requiring the expansion of systems, the creation of systems to accommodate the additional runoff. We're looking at about a 43% increase in detention volume. So of what currently is being required now and what will be required if this rule is implemented, or this requirement is implemented. So we believe it's, as I mentioned, a much better proposal than what we have now. The majority of the cities, the major cities, McAllen, Weslaco, Edinburgh is going to it, Mercedes is looking at it as well. So the majority of the major cities are going to the 50-year. We believe that's a good level of protection we should have. We are designing our systems improvements to that capacity. In some cases, we're designing to a 100-year event, our main systems that we're doing. So we're implementing this requirement, imposing it on ourselves as well, and we want to impose it on development as well as it continues to grow. So. The next one is the low-lying areas and flood zones. We do have that rule already is in place and exists. It basically addresses Any development that's in a flood zone is required letter map amendment, letter map revision based on fill. Those that are zone A's, in the zone A, when there's no depth identified, we're asking for the engineer, in accordance with the FEMA requirements, to establish the BFE and determine it, and based on that, either get it out of the flood zone or development won't be allowed until that area is fully removed from the flood zone. Again, some of our maps are a little bit old, but we do look at one of the questions that came up on this is, what if it's a natural low-lying area and the flood zone is shown as a non-flood zone area? Well, the district still look at those issues. We still look at making sure that development that's going in is not in a low-lying area. It doesn't have to be a designated flood zone for us to have comments regarding that natural low, and making sure that whatever gets developed doesn't become inundated from rain events. So that's one of the proposals here before you as well, that will make that determination as part of the development process, and make sure that once it's determined that it's taken out of the flood zone adequately or appropriately, following the measures that we have already in place. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
If you want to, there was two individuals that asked to speak.
Buenos días, señor juez, señores comisionados. Mi nombre es Eva Carranza y soy residente del precinto 2. Hace 3 semanas vinimos a entregarles una petición para mejorar el programa de alumbrado público, y uno de los objetivos era aprobar las nuevas reglas de subdivisión modelo para que ninguna subdivisión fuera aprobada sin alumbrado público. Después de 3 años de esfuerzo y colaboración entre el Departamento de Planificación, el Distrito de Drenaje y organizaciones como Arise, Lupe y Texas Housers, venimos junto con miembros de la comunidad para agradecerles que se estén aprobando las nuevas reglas de subdivisión modelo que mejorarán la calidad de vida de muchas familias en el Condado Hidalgo, empezando en el año 2019. Muchas gracias, Dios los bendiga.
Hello, my name is Eva Carranza. I'm a leader from Arise. 3 weeks ago, we came to turn in a petition regarding the public lighting program, and one of the objectives of that petition was the passage of the new amendments to the model subdivision rules that will require that new subdivisions be built with appropriate public lighting infrastructure. And after almost 3 years of collaborating with the planning department and the drainage district and the organizations like Arise, Lupe, Texas Housers, we come to thank you for hopefully passing these new model subdivision rules and making sure that the quality of life for families in Hidalgo County is better starting in 2019.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Marcela Alejandra y soy miembro de la organización Lupe. El día de hoy estamos todos muy contentos. Hemos trabajado por mucho tiempo junto con Arise y Lupe juntos, y después de 3 años, por fin el condado nos ha aprobado las nuevas reglas para las subdivisiones que vienen. Hemos batallado muchísimo y hemos estado con este problema desde hace mucho tiempo con las inundaciones. Entonces, gracias a esta nueva aprobación, las nuevas subdivisiones en áreas rurales podrán contar con drenaje pluvial mucho mejor, porque tendrán tuberías más amplias todavía para que el agua de la lluvia pueda correr más rápido y así evitar inundaciones. Y aparte de esto, también vamos a contar con estas nuevas subdivisiones con el alumbrado público, que eso es muy necesario para todos y por la seguridad. Y agarramos todavía bono más, porque también vamos a contar con un área especial para nuestros niños. En las mañanas que ellos esperan los autobuses, van a poder estar en un lugar seguro, donde va a haber un espacio para ellos seguro y con alumbrado también. Entonces, estamos muy agradecidos, le agradecemos al condado por esta ayuda, este apoyo, al señor Cecín, al señor Arredondo por su trabajo y su apoyo con todos nosotros. Estos estándares también de drenaje de pluvial van a ser por 50 años. Estamos muy contentos por eso y les agradecemos a todos. Las áreas rurales de este condado, estamos muy agradecidos y muy contentos por lo que está pasando. Muchas gracias y esperamos de su cooperación y su ayuda con nosotros.
Just to summarize, Marcela Alejandro, which one is it? Just to summarize, Marcela Alejandro with Lupe, she wants to thank the county for working on these issues of infrastructure that are going to be improved in these new model subdivisions, specifically with drainage and making sure that new subdivisions don't have the same flooding problems because of the widening of the ditch and making those standards up to protection for 50-year storms, and so that allow for more flood water to flow out of these communities that are often impacted. But again, just wanting to thank them also for the addition of the bus stops that will be included in new subdivisions, so the children will have a space to stand while they wait for the school bus and be safe away from traffic. And so in addition to that, in the public lighting, we'd really like to appreciate the amendments that are being made to the subdivision rules, and thank you for that.
Gracias.
Judge Commissioners, we did bring this to our County Advisory Board last week. There was a recommendation by them to have these rules effective January 1st. Mr. Seen and I have discussed it. Staff's recommendation is to have these effective immediately.
And that's up, we'd like to look at this. I know obviously there's a transition period, and the discussion took place because of the transition period. What do we do in developments that are in the hopper, so to speak? If these were to become effective immediately, well, we would document everything that's already in place. We have a list for that. Planning does a good job of documenting everything that's been filed, even with my office. Even if it hasn't made it to planning, it's been formally filed. All the application is complete. It's not just one sheet of paper. It's an actual package that has been complete. We will document all that. We have all that in writing when it was submitted. And those would be grandfathered in, so to speak. We'll apply those. But we're proposing, as you know, the Drainage District proposing a bond issuance. We're moving forward with that. We feel that implementing this, as I mentioned, the requirements we're proposing here is something that we're actually asking of ourselves in our design concepts that we're following for our projects and for these proposed bond issuance. So we feel that we're ready to move forward with it, but it's the decision of the judge and the commissioners to make that determination. The advisory board just made a recommendation. It's just an advisory board. The ultimate the ultimate approval comes from you, and we feel that we're ready to move. And not only that, the street lights as well. I think planning has done a good job with the budget and everything to put that in place. So.
But Steve wants to say something.
Mr. Seen, if I understood you correctly, the rules would become effective today for any new subdivisions filed on or after today.
That is correct.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
So it'll be taking effect as of today.
That is today. We'll document today, and my office and Mr. Ardon's office will work to make sure all the ones that are in are good and anything effective today afterwards.
And I'm confident with that because you guys both of you have been working tremendously with these individuals that are here, but also with the subdivision association, and so they've known that this is coming, and the fact that it's coming exactly right now. I mean, they've known it, and there's already applications in, and those will be grandfathered. So I'm completely comfortable with it.
Okay, great.
Just one more question. One more question for the record. The motion was for item 3A, B, and C, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You want to move back to 7A?
Yes, sir. We have 6 items up for preliminary approval. First item, Rosalina Rosales subdivision, precinct 1 is a 1-lot subdivision in flood zone C. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto Anderson.
2 seconds.
again, first item, Rosalinda Rosales subdivision, precinct 1, a one-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto Anderson roadside ditch. Was approved by the city of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, sewer via OSSF. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, Soledad Garden subdivision, precinct 1, is a 4-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto mile 2 west roadside ditch. It's in the city of Edcal, GTJ. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and sewer via OSSF. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, Isabella subdivision, precinct 3, is a 1 residential lot and 3 commercial lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto mile 5 north and brushline roadside ditches. It was approved by the city of Mission. Water is provided by Iowa Sud and sewer via OSSF. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, Krishnan subdivision, precinct 1, is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone B. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff into Victoria roadside ditch. It was approved by the city of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and sewer via OSSF. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, R&E subdivision, precinct 1, is a 6-lot subdivision in a flood zone B. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto Milano Road and 18th Street roadside ditches. It was approved by the city of Weslaco. Water is provided by Military Highway Water Supply Corporation and sewer via OSSF. We're recommending approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, Eduardo's number 18 subdivision, is a 76-lot subdivision in a flood zone B. It's in precinct 3. It was approved by the city of Mission. Water is provided by Sharyland Water Supply Corporation and sanitary sewer by the city of Mission. Trosper Road is paved, and 4 internal streets are to be paved by the developer. We're recommending approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item is final approval with a financial guarantee. Maravillas Estates Phase 3 subdivision, precinct 1, is a 77-lot subdivision in a flood zone B. Drainage will be provided by connecting into an existing drainage system which was built during the construction of Maravillas Phase 1 subdivision. It was approved by the city of Donna. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and there is an escrow for OSSF for septic tanks. We recommend final approval with a financial guarantee in the amount of $115,500 for 77 septic tank systems.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And if I go to the last item, it's approval of a pipeline and utility permit, an open cut. Applicant, Texas Gas Service, is applying for a permit to replace approximately 100 feet of an 8-inch steel pipe to remove a sleeve across Swell Road. And we're recommending approval for that application.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 8, our sheriff's office.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Friedland with the Sheriff's Office. Item 8A, discussion and consideration and action in accordance with the Hidalgo County Civil Service Commission rules for the following employee, number 093416, to be paid out for accrued compensatory time, holiday, and annual leave time.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 8B, Sheriff's Office NIBRS 1284. Number 1, approval to accept grant award for equipment funding from the Criminal Justice Division in the total amount of $240,679 for the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, Constable Precinct 1, Constables Precinct 2, and Constables Precinct 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 2, authorization for county judge as authorized official to electronically sign grant award form and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Number 3, authorization to pay equipment reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 4, approval for certification of revenues as certified by the county auditors for the NB19-PY19 National Incident-Based Reporting System.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 5, approval or appropriation of funds in the total amount of $240,679.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Sorry, under that number, did you want the breakdown that was after it? Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office.
It's as listed.
Okay. Item 8C, Sheriff's Office, FBI 1284. Number 1, approval to accept overtime funding agreement from the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the total amount of $36,687.50.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion. Excuse me, motion carries.
Number 2, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 3, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditors for the FY 2019 FBI overtime agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 4, approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $36,687.50.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. At this time, I'm going to ask for a recess of 5 minutes. All right, sir. Under 8D.
Item 8D, Sheriff's Office, Operation Stone Garden, fiscal year 2016, 1284. Requesting ratification of supplemental funds from the Homeland Security Grant Program in the amount of $695,389.93 for the fiscal year 2016 Operation Stone Garden.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 8E, Sheriff's Office, LBSP, fiscal year 2019, 1284. Number 1, authorization and approval to accept the Local Border Security Program, or LBSP, fiscal year 2019 grant in the amount of $233,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2, authorization for county judge as authorized official to electronically sign grant award form and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Captain, with respect to the electronic signature, is it, it's just the filling in of a name and just sending it off? Is that what you mean by the electronic signature?
I can find out.
Yeah, right, so, like the budget office does it? Okay, no, it's just so that we can document for the judge's office the court action.
Okay.
In other words, there's not a physical document, it's going to be an
Email.
internet email type, so that we can document that that's the way it went.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 3, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 4, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the Local Border Security Program, fiscal year 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 5, approval to appropriate budget for the LBSP 2019 grant award in the amount of $233,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Last item, 8F, Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. Approval to continue the payment of overtime for one employee currently being paid by the OCDETF grant, pending the award of the 2018-2019 grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Item 9, Constable Precinct 2.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Deputy Elizondo, we have Constable Marty Cantu. On item A, is decision consideration and approve to appoint Ramiro Martinez as Deputy Constable by the Council of Martin Cantu, Council Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Law Government Code Section 86.011.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
9B, number 1, approval to rescind action to agenda item 66341, item 10.8.cc regular from August 8, 2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2, to discuss considerations and approve to enter into interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable's Precinct 2 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 3, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the internal local agreement terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 4, authorize the county judge and authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement award and release documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 5, approval of certification of revenues by the county auditors.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 6, approval of appropriation of funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 7, approval of the following personal action effective 9/1/2018. The action created position total deputy constable, the budget salary $44,577.
Is that money, y'all, Valde, do they have the money for this?
This is on, is this under the grant?
The constable.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, move
The
for
grant,
approval.
yes. Through the NMO.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 8, approval to transfer employee number 227560 to site number 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then item 9C, that's no action, sir, at this time.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just, Constable, just for the record, the employee transfer to slot number 1, that employee is being transferred into that grant slot position, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that individual understands that it is a grant and it is all subject to funding for the future.
Yeah, I think they're told when they get hired.
Okay, there is a document that needs to be signed. HR, Mr. Silguero, can we make sure that document, and that goes for the other action items that we had earlier today with respect to the grants, and not necessarily constables, but the other action items as well? We do. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Constable Precinct 3.
Yes, we do.
Chief Deputy Gonzalez for
Thank you.
Constable Precinct 3. Good morning, Commissioner Judge. Today we have discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Isidro Rosales as Deputy Constable by Larry Gallardo, Jr., Constable Precinct 3, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.011.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Discussion and consideration for approval to appoint Dan Broyles as Reserve Deputy Constable by Larry Gallardo, Jr., Constable Precinct 3, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code 86.012.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item, approval to rescind action taken on agenda item 65-599, item 10A, Commissioners Court Regular on 7/17/18.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Approval to accept the statement of grant award in reference to Local Border Security Program FY19 in the amount of $100,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authorization and approval for county judge as authorized official to electronically accept grant award and release documents, and related documents, excuse me.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authorization to pay overtime reimbursement under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the FY Local Border Security Program grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval to appropriate the budget for Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 3 office portion of FY19 Local Border Security Program in the amount of $100,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 11, Constable Precinct 4.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Constable Precinct 4, 11A. Constable Precinct 4, 1, approval to rescind action on agenda item 66342, item 12A, regular 828 of 18.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
A2, discussion, consideration, approval to enter into interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4 and Tropical Texas Behavioral Health.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A3, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under interlocal agreement terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A4, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign the interlocal agreement, award, and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
11.5, approval of certifications of revenue by county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A6, approval or appropriation of funds.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A7, approval of the following personnel action effective 9/1/2018.
So moved.
Second. That's the same one as precinct 2.
Yes, that's a create
Yeah.
slot number 1, deputy constable. And Judge, just for the record here, it's a position that had been filled already. The deputy's already there, but it just changed, the wording on there,
Yeah.
TTBH to J3, J111. Aye.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And A8, approval to transfer employee number 139203 to slot number 1, 294021.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
11.
I'm sorry, Constable, again, just so that we're all clear. The individual understands that this is a grant position, it's subject to funding, and there's a document that needs to be filled out.
Absolutely. If not signed yet, we'll go ahead and get it signed. 11B, 1, authorization approval to purchase through the State of Texas Federal Surplus Program under Chapter 2175.001 of the Texas Local Government Code and Section 262.024.9C, 1 cargo truck for $7,500 through the requisition number 00380319.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B2, authorization for purchase department to issue a purchase order and the county treasurer's office to issue a check made payable to the Texas Facilities Commission after the county auditor's review.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I've got, Judge. Thank you,
Thank
Commissioner.
you, Darren. Item 12, our tax office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Julio Espinosa from the Tax Office. Item 12A, discussion, consideration, and approval to close the existing special inventory bank account as recommended by the Sheriff's Office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 2, discussion, consideration, and approval to open a replacement special inventory bank account as recommended by the Sheriff's Office with the authority for the county tax assessor collector to sign all necessary documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, just a note that on one of those documents, the county clerk needs to sign where it says, it has to do with the corporation, where it says that the board of directors have approved it. It needs to be signed by, that part needs to be signed by the county clerk.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
What about the last one?
You have item B, Julio?
Yes, 12B, requesting approval for reimbursement of $42.94 to Cesar Solis for fuel of a county vehicle with authority for the county treasurer to issue check after review, audit, and processing procedures have been completed by the county auditor.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Guerra?
Thank you, Judge. I know that we're pressed for time here, but I'm going to ask Mr. Ramirez real quickly go to the podium. We did have, as a emergency situations occurring, there's no action under item A1 this week or this court session. A2, emergency situations occurring since last agenda meeting. Mr. Ramirez, do you want to brief everybody with respect to what occurred with all the safety precautions that we take? Things happen with what occurred with the demo that we're doing here at the Courthouse Square and what the line that was cut?
Yes, sir. Morning, Judge Commissioners. During the construction, there's a fiber run that connects this building to the county network. That fiber was cut and pulled. So right now, this building is not communicating. Now we've forwarded phone numbers to other areas. Phones are being answered. There's a little bit of an outage on the internet, but we've got a repair crew on site, and we should be up in the next couple of hours.
Okay, and with that being said, because of that fiber cut, while we are recording this Commissioner's Court, we are not being, it's not being video streamed because we don't have internet right now.
Exactly.
As a result, again, with all the safety precautions that they took over there, it's unfortunate, but it did occur. And talking to Mr. Ramirez super early this morning, we thought that we could address the situation through a quick splice as a quick fix while we replaced. Unfortunately, the amount of fiber optic that was damaged was much greater than what we were led to believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll keep you posted. Excuse me.
Item B, I'm going to ask Rick. It's presentation by Burt McCumber and Longoria, LLP, of the county's 2017 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report and Single Audit.
Thank you, Valde.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, I'm here to present now the audit report for the County of Hidalgo for the year ended December 31st, 2017. To kind of put things in a comparative perspective, I guess, when I came up earlier, that report was 175 pages, more or less. This report is 450 pages. I will try to be as concise as I can in going over just the highlights of this particular report. I know you all have had a long meeting. Certainly, one thing that we'll talk about towards the end, and Commissioner Flores, this kind of goes back to a question that you had earlier. In addition to the items that I covered earlier, this particular report does contain a separately issued single audit report, and in the back of that report does have some comments and recommendations that certainly I will speak to here in a bit. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are some things that I need to go over. Again, it's probably as exciting as going over as watching paint dry, but I need to do it, so please bear with me. It is that governance letter. It is that two-page stapled letter just confirming to you all that we've audited the financial statements of the government activities, business type activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information in the County of Hidalgo for the year ended December 31st, 2017. Confirming to you all that our audit, again, was conducted under generally accepted auditing standards, but also included not only government auditing standards, but also the standards and procedures, including what's called uniform guidance. The County of Hidalgo, and if you look back historically, even just the past couple of years, has received over $100 million of the federal and state funding in its totality. And because of that, there is an additional standard that's called the Single Audit Act. Speaking to what I mean by its totality, I think we all need to just acknowledge that the county is a big county, the largest, 6th or 7th in the entire state. And our audit not only encompasses the county proper, but also includes Community Service Agency, Head Start, Urban County. The financial statements of the local participation fund that was discussed earlier are rolled up into this particular report as well as the drainage district numbers as well. So all that gets rolled into this 400 page plus report. In terms of what's in the report, always, again, just reminding everybody that when you read the report, you need to consider the footnotes that are in the back and recognize the fact that the audit is not an exact science. There are estimates within the actual audit report, again, related to the allowance for doubtful accounts, estimates related to the workman comp fund and some other funds that it's just not an exact science. In terms of difficulties encountered in performing the audit, I guess I can only speak to, certainly we always strive to issue the audit report as soon as we can. The big report that you have before you was issued by July 31st. The single audit report was issued by August 31st. We continue to work with the county auditor's office. I appreciate the assistance and the cooperation we've gotten from the new county auditor, and the culture she's created there in her new role in the department that she oversees. But certainly we'll continue to work with them in terms of timing. And just acknowledging the fact that certainly we just collectively need to be better prepared in order to be able to issue the audit report sooner. Confirming that there's no disagreements with management, confirming that we did obtain a management representation letter, confirming that, to our knowledge, there was no other consultations with independent accountants, and then just acknowledging again our responsibility with respect to the different parts of the actual audit report. Again, the statistical section, and I apologize for that word, I just have problems with it sometimes. The MD&A, the transmittal letter, those are areas that are not within the scope of the audit, that are included more for informational purposes and to promote transparency with respect to the audit report. Also, I mentioned earlier about the Drainage District trying to achieve the GFOA award designation. The county has achieved it, and it has consistently achieved it for the past 10 years. And its audit report is posted on the county's website. If somebody wants to peruse all 450 pages, somebody that's there for public view. I apologize if I'm going fast, but if I'm going too fast, feel free to slow me down.
And Mr. Logora, just for the record, with respect to the audit report being on our website, we also have physical copies at the budget office, physical
Correct.
copies that are at the auditor's office, and we'll make sure that the county clerk's office has it also for their archives. So while it is accessible to the public via our website, it's not uncommon for individuals to stop by and ask to see a copy at our physical locations.
Yes, thank you, Bob. I'm now going to turn to the large bound report. I'm going to cover it in the same manner as I did the previous presentation, unless you all want me to shorten or do you have other questions. But confirming, if I turn to the tab labeled the Independent Auditor's Report, confirming to you all as governing body that our Independent Auditor's Report is an unqualified opinion. As I mentioned, I think most folks like to refer to it as a clean opinion. Then the body of the actual report letter addresses the reports that are being covered, management's responsibility with respect to the financial statements, our responsibility as well. And again, our opinion, and again it says the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects to the respective financial position of the governmental activities, business type activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the county as of December 31st, 2017. Again, this is an unqualified opinion, unmodified opinion, a clean opinion, if you will, as I think most people like to refer to it. I'm going to jump to page 30. And now, I'm jumping to that page because that does depict what the fund balance is as of December 31st, 2017. Again, I'd like to report to the Commissioner's Court that the unassigned fund balance as of December 31st, 2017 at the County of Hidalgo is $36,360,709. The county does have its own internal policy with respect to its goals as to what the fund balance should be, or certainly it would like for it to be. I believe it's about 10 to 15%, certainly around 15% of what total expenditures are for the county. The fund balance does meet that goal. If we turn to page 32, that's a statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances. Again, it highlights the general fund as being the most important fund, if you will, in the county. You'll see that total revenues were over $201 million. Expenditures were over $186 million. With total transfers out of $10 million. And if you will, the bottom line for the county of Hidalgo as of December 31st, 2017, is that it was able to increase its total fund balance. I'm not talking about the unassigned at this point, but the total fund balance of $4.9 million. And so certainly from that perspective, I think that the county did well in trying to maintain a good and healthy fund balance overall. In saying that, though, there are some funds that certainly warrant some attention. I did want to point to one particular fund, which I know, at least I sense that you all know. It is the self-insurance fund. It is currently running at a deficit. I think the deficit was about $5 million. And granted, you can offset that against other funds that have positive balances. But certainly that's a fund that certainly warrants attention. And I know dealing with healthcare, especially when you deal with the thousands of employees that the county has, it's a difficult task to make it affordable and reachable and meets all the criteria of what one wants to achieve in terms of a benefit for its employees. And it's always that challenge between trying to balance what the employee is willing and able to pay, and also what the county is willing and able to pay. And I know governmental entities as a whole, that we all have that challenge. And so I just want to remind you that fund is out there. It will warrant attention, and as you all go through budgets for years to come, don't forget that that's out there and needs to be addressed at some point in time. And I think, like I mentioned in the earlier presentation, I think sometimes it helps to, and it certainly doesn't hurt, to look at where you've been from a fund balance perspective, to understand where you should be going. And if you'd like to, and I'll just say it, on page 332, you will have the same schedule that we had in looking at the drainage district, that breaks down what the unassigned fund balance has been from an historical perspective. And if you go back to as far back as 2014, the fund balance was $19.6 million, and you've been able to grow that fund balance. And of course, the county has grown as well, to a total of the $36 million that I had discussed earlier. And so those are the highlights of the numbers at this point. And if somebody has any questions, I'd like to jump over to the comments and observations. If there are no questions regarding the numbers, and again, acknowledging just the size of this report, as a firm, we pride ourselves in premier client service, and if you all just call and like to go into the details, either by you or your staff, certainly we'll make ourselves available to you all. And so there are actually two different reports that have comments on them. One is the single audit report, and those comments are in the back, and this is a 40 or 50-page report. And there is another report that has other comments that are not as important, but certainly worth putting in writing. And so, without getting into any particular comment at this time, unless you as a commission would like to, I guess my only overarching comment.
I got to make a phone
Sure.
call, and we have to take a quick We don't have the numbers, so I need to take a.
That's fine. You all instruct me as to what you'd like for me to do.
Just
That's fine.
That's what happens when you have a quorum. I was already stuck. I know, I was already stuck down there when he called. I was ready to go ahead and saw the city when he called. You know how far? Turn around and come back 107.
Rick.
That's okay, Judge. That's not a problem. Again, and so I was talking about the management letter and comments that are included within the single audit. And again, there's two types of comments. There are comments that are included in the back of the single audit, and there's this other comments letter. The other comments letter we felt rose to the level wanting to communicate to you all in writing, but not to the level of what's considered a reportable condition or a material weakness. The comments are in the Single Audit Act report in the very back. Those did rise to the level of reportable conditions and material weakness. In fact, there's one material weakness in there that is one of the agencies, and we sat with those agencies and talked about some of the remediation efforts that they can do in order to get rid of that comment. And we can sit here and go over every single comment. I think the better use of time, but it's up to you all, it's just saying this. There are comments that we've had within the back of the report that just have not been addressed. And some go back more than a year, more than 2 years. And so what I would just like to emphasize and propose is just if you will, a proactive effort in order to ensure that these comments are cleared. What I feel like we're doing from year to year, and just excuse the phrase, but kind of like piling on. We have comments and they don't get cleared, and then we'll have another comment, and now your list just got bigger. But then those comments don't get cleared, and next year comes and we'll add another comment. And so that list is just getting bigger and bigger year by year.
Well, look, I can appreciate what you're saying. What I'm going to say, and I hope the department heads are listening to me, is that we need to have a plan of action turned in say 30 days on how we're going to address that. And then within 30 days, if I personally don't see those responses, then I'll go department head by department head. I have no idea, what I'm looking at, but I'll bring in Mr. Longoria if necessary. But especially if it's been happening year after year, for those people that are, I guess, being addressed in the audit report, you need to have something within 30 days on how this is going to be addressed. And then I'll sit with y'all and see what y'all have. I'm not going to call anybody out. Just we need to do something, and I don't want to see it every year like we discussed it last year. And so I would like to see it addressed in writing. But thank you for that.
Sure, and there is management's plan of action on county letterhead as to what they plan to do with each of the comments that are mentioned. But it's that follow-up and due diligence to make sure it gets done.
And that's fine. Right? If they already have it, then I'll sit with them and see, did we have that same thing last year, and what was done and what's going to be done this year that we didn't do last year.
Right. And so, to me, that's the spirit of what I think needs to be conveyed with respect to the comments.
The way it looks, it's like nobody did nothing about it.
There are several that still need to be cleared.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think grantor agencies start noticing that, right? They start noticing, hey, this list is not getting smaller. And so, I think it's a win-win, great for the county to show that it's proactive. And yes, it's a huge institution with a lot of employees, with a lot of transactions, with a lot of activities. And as we're turning up stones as we go through the audit process, we are going to come across some things, but we feel that we do it in a very positive manner. And if we can come up with comments and make the institution better, then it's a win-win for everybody. But the comments do need to be cleared.
On it.
Okay, gentlemen, that's all I had. Judge, that's all I had for today. Unless you all had any additional questions.
Steve, do we need to accept it?
Yes, sir, you do.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you for allowing us to be of service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Valdez?
We go to HR, Judge, and I'll go get it.
Yeah, we'll move on to HR. Item number 14, HR.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. One of the comments that Mr. Longoria was talking about has to do, I've been working on, one of the issues is not all employees are clocking in and out, and we're trying to get a good handle on that. I'm working with IT so that we can change the system that would require everybody to punch in and punch out, including employees who are FLSA exempt. That's where the issue primarily is. So,
Well, for my example, we'll lead by example, and we'll have that done by the next week.
I'm working. I was just mentioning the work we're doing on the punching in, punching out, all employees, and I'm working with Mr. Ramirez and Mr. Guerra on this.
And just for the record, and again, in working, obviously we work with every department, every elected official. I've been working with the Commissioners Court and everyone and all the staff. With respect to the clocking in and clocking out, everybody's time is accounted for, okay? Everybody's time is accounted for.
Yeah, but there's some people, I know there's some people that modify those times.
Everybody's time is accounted for in one form or fashion. The preferred method that we want is for everyone to clock in and out. As an example, when I talk to the individual elected official individuals, the ones that work for officials, I tell them that I clock in and clock out every day. This is, well, you don't have to. It says there's a reason why you clock in and clock out. Okay, 2 specific reasons. One, my time is accounted for throughout the day. Okay. If I am out of the office doing anything other than county work, okay, I clock out. If I have to stop to do something because I got a phone call from a friend or whatever, I clock out. Okay, I call the office. That's so that the county knows that, going to the second point, that's what the county knows that VALDE is not course and scope. Okay, the last thing I need is for someone, if I'm going to go do something personal, I didn't clock out, okay, and I had a fender bender, I don't need anyone making the argument that I was course and scope and coming after the county. Okay, I am at that point John Q. Public. Okay, number 2, the clocking in and out. There has been this misconception that if an exempt employee, and by exempt I'm talking about FLSA, okay, there's this misconception that if they clock in or out, that they would no longer be exempt and then would be subject to being an hourly. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Okay? And so, unfortunately, there was a letter many, many years ago that was sent out. That letter was incorrect. Okay? And so we've been working with everyone. Says you clock in, you clock out. Now, there is, as an example, the field personnel. Field personnel are out doing what they're doing. It does not make any sense for someone who's out working, western part of the county, and they're working in a certain area, that they're going to travel all the way back to the office, clock out for lunch, and then clock back in. So what we do is an auto punch for lunch. In other words, everybody takes a lunch hour. And so there's individuals that have auto punch for lunch. Okay? Whether it's 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, regardless.
What about the app on your phone that accounts for you? Say it's an emergency.
Oh, okay. And then you have, that's what I said, everybody's time is accounted for in one form or fashion, okay? There is one other, and then that method you're talking about, Commissioner, is select to a handful of individuals. Individuals that are in and out, don't necessarily at the beginning. Again, so if I don't get myself in trouble, I'll use me as the example. Every morning, I don't necessarily go to the office. Every single morning, I've got to go to Precinct 3 or Precinct 1 or Precinct 2, and as I'm driving, I get over there. So, clock in. I'm at the office. I go back to the office. If I clock out, it's at the office. If I'm at a meeting at the end of the day, and that I've been at your office at the end of the day, your office at the end of the day, I clock out at whatever time it is. Okay. Again, everyone's time is accounted for in one form or fashion. Our preferred method is clocking in and out so that there is a physical record. And when I say physical record, I'm talking about our TAP, time and attendance program. But again, short of that, everybody's time is accounted for because every official, every department head is responsible at the end of the day with respect to the timesheets that are being submitted for that are used for an individual to get paid. Okay, so again, that's the recurring. I say recurring loosely, but that's the issue that comes up, and so we cannot, since it's one of the preferred methods, we have included in our response to the audit that it is one of the methods that we use to account for people's time. Okay. Now, I have sent out memos to the department heads, and I have sent out memos to the elected officials saying that while my authority is limited, and I use authority loosely, while my authority is limited to their sphere of authority, that we asked that they account for individuals' time. Now, the commissioners, Commissioner Precinct 3, Commissioner Precinct 2, 1, and 4, have all asked for interpretations with respect to what we're doing, and they adhere to the method that I prescribe to, which is the clocking in and out using the TAP program. Now, again, it is for those individuals that are regularly at the office 8 to 5, okay, because we do have key personnel that travel countywide, attend after-hours meetings, attend Saturday meetings. I saw the tweet with Mr. Cecine, yourself. We're talking about the drainage. I see Armando at those meetings. So there's a handful of individuals, but the time is being accounted for. Okay, so the last thing I want is for individuals to believe that time is not accounted for. I will leave you with this last thought. As again, using me as the example, Ms. Fern, haven't we run into each other at Walmart or whatever? It's 3:45 for 4:15. Okay, what's the running joke? Are you on the? I know. But the fact of the matter is, I'm clocked out because I'm not doing county work. I'm clocked out. I'm clocked out for the day. Okay, so that's the point I'm trying to make, that everyone's time is accounted for in one form or fashion. Our preferred method is clocking in and out using the TAP. And again, making individuals understand that just because you're FLSA exempt, if you clock in and out, that does not negate your exemption, and that doesn't make you automatically a hourly employee. Okay?
Yeah, and we're going to have procedures for every type of employee. Obviously, what Mr. Guerra is saying is we need to know that every employee, when they clock in, that they came to work, and we need to know when they left, they clocked out, or some other way. But we're working on procedures, and just to let you know that we have been working on that, given the comment and the finding from a year or two ago.
Right.
All right, sir.
I want to change Mr. Longoria just said that we're running on deficit on workman's comp. Is that?
No, on the insurance, health insurance.
No, he said workman's comp.
Health insurance. On the self-funded health insurance.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, Commissioner, our workers' comp is, the fund is health. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's health. Okay.
Anyway, Raul Silguero from HR, my item is item 14A. First, we're requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments that may be listed below. I would like approval of that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
I know time is limited. Item for the tax office, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. As listed, those are only title changes. Slots 07, 18, 21, 168, 169, and 186. The current position title and the grade, and then the proposed title is the correct title. There's no change in salary, no change in grade.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carried.
Item C for the county clerk, approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period, 10/15/2018. This position is vacant. It's just a title change. They're changing the position title from Collections Enforcement Officer 2 to Deputy Clerk 2. It's a grade 7 position.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Item D for the sheriff, it's approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. The sheriff is simply reassigning clothing allowance from 4 positions. So those are being deleted as listed, and they're being added to 4 other positions. Same, no change in total amount.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
And Mr. Silguero, if I may, Judge,
Yes.
Commissioners, for the record, I have worked with the Auditor's Office under the old administration. I will continue to work with the current administration at the Auditor's Office with respect to the clothing allowance. The clothing allowance, if an individual is getting a clothing allowance, and it doesn't matter what department it is, if Mr. Silguero was getting a clothing allowance because he's got an assignment, he's no longer going to be doing whatever that assignment is, and Mr. Guerra now is going to be getting that assignment, it's a transfer of the fund. And so I've asked the Auditor's Office if a change of status because it requires at the end of the day change of status. If a change of status would suffice. Again,
We're working on that, Mr. Guerra. I'm working with Namaris from Budget Office, where we hope to bring to court so that the court can approve a total number of positions that are eligible for clothing allowance and the total amount, and then as long as we're within those totals, that we can do that through change status. Item E for the HIDA task force, they're asking to delete slot 0090026. That's one slot that was paid from two accounts, accountant 3. They just want to delete that slot.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F for the public defender. The public defender's office gets a supplement from the Texas Tropical. They had an employee who was in an accident that was performing that, so they're going to that employee will be out for a few months, and so they're reassigning the supplement to another employee. So they're asking to delete the allowance from slot A001 and to shift it to A002 for that period of time.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G for the district attorney's office. The district attorneys, we've been working with the district attorney's office for some time to realign their classifications based on the step and grade that were not ready to work with us back when we implemented and prior to that. So they're just now coming to us. So we have reached some agreements on the attorneys' positions that they wanted to reclassify. So they're asking approval. We're asking approval of adjustments to the district attorney positions listed in Exhibit A to properly classify the positions in accordance with the classification and compensation plan effective next full pay period. I do want to mention that there's a few minor errors, so they will be subject to those corrections. We got some typos, and I'll print a corrected copy next week, but I would like approval for that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion.
And the
Motion
item two, thank you. Item 2 is approval of the interfund transfer. This is also subject to funding. The EDA proposes to pay for this year's adjustments through his forfeiture funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I had. Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Bob, do you want to cover yours?
yes.
13C.
13C is discussion, consideration, and action, a letter of commitment to the Lower Laguna Madre OSSF and NPS Pollution Prevention and Awareness and GIS Daily Best Program. Judge Commissioners, this is in collaboration with Cameron County. Cameron County has a grant that they're applying for, and I'm asking court approval on our letter of commitment up to monetary amount of no more than $15,000 and or in kind in that same amount.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D is discussion, consideration, and action on appointment of board member and alternate to represent the County of Hidalgo on Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Board Directors Alamo, Donna 2, and Hidalgo. Judge Commissioners, as you're all aware, I sit on several boards and have sat on those boards. I'm asking at this time, given the role that I play for the county, that I be replaced on these boards so that I don't find myself or conflicted in any form or fashion if there's a disagreement with respect to any of these boards and my representation on that board and my representation for the County of Hidalgo. So what I'm asking is for myself to be replaced on the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone boards. The first one for Alamo, and appoint Mr. Michael Leo, and alternate Mr. David Suarez from Precinct 1.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Donna 2, same action, Mr. Michael Leo and Mr. David Suarez as the alternate from Precinct 1.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the last one, Hidalgo, for Mr. Michael Leo, and as the alternate, Mr. Armando Garza from Precinct 2.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E is discussion and possible action for approval to extend the funding agreement for Border Colonia Access Program Amendment Number 13. This amendment extends the contract period and completion of construction projects to October 31st, 2019. Again, I see JP in the office, but this is, we did get a funding agreement extension so that we can complete these projects. And so this is, I don't want to say it's a formality, but I do need court action so that we can put this on the books.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
The second action item is approval for the county judge to sign funding agreement for Border Colonia Access Program Amendment Number 13.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F is requesting approval to appropriate $3,214.71 into Third Call Border Colonia. This is Fund 1312 for Precinct 1 in relation to Round 3 of Colonia Project.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. We move on to Urban County.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. P.R. Avila with Urban County. Item 15A, the Urban County Program requests approval of the Emergency Solutions Grant Program subrecipient agreements with the following nonprofit agencies for the program year 31, 2018, retroactively effective August 22nd, 2018 to December 31st, 2019. Number one, that is Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley. Number two, Women Together Foundation. And number three, the Salvation Army of McAllen, Hidalgo County.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 15B, requesting authority to cease negotiations with the highest ranked firm, L&G Consulting Engineers, Inc., which was approved in Commissioners Court September 11th, 2018, due to their inability to perform said services.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B2, authority to negotiate professional engineering services contract with the second highest ranked from Cruz Hogan Consultants, Inc., for the provision of professional engineering services for an Urban County Program Year 30, City of Wesco Water and Sewer Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 15C, County of Hidalgo Urban County Program is disclosing that Marisa Medeles, who works at Proyecto Azteca, has applied to purchase a home through its Community Housing Development Organization program.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 15D, request approval of the First Amendment in the 2017 Home Community Housing Development Organization Program Agreement between Hidalgo County Urban County Program and Proyecto Azteca.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
15E, request approval of the First Amendment to the implementation agreement between County of Hidalgo acting by through its Urban County Program and Proyecto Azteca, Inc. to the 2016 through 2017 Colonia Self-Help Center project.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 15, yes, sir.
Is it 2017 or 2020?
2020.
Oh.
Well, that's, let me just check the backup. It says 2020.
Okay, no, I thought I heard 17, that's why. So it's 2020.
From 2016 to 2020.
Okay.
Item 15F, requesting approval to recertify Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc., a community housing development organization within the County of Hidalgo.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
2, requesting approval to execute the 2018 Home Choto Agreement for Affordable Homes of South Texas, Inc.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 15G, requesting approval to recertify Proyecto Azteca Community Housing Development Organization within Hidalgo County.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 15G2, requesting approval to execute the 2018 Home Choto Agreement for Proyecto Azteca.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you. Judge.
Thank you, sir. Item 17, adult probation.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Faustino Lopez with the Adult Probation Department. I have item 17A, DWI Court Grant 1289. Item 1, approval to accept the DWI Court Grant from the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division, in the amount of $154,136.99 for the grant period of 9/1/18 through 8/31/19.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, approval of certification of revenues as approved by the County Auditor's Office for the DWI Court Grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $154,136.99.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Veterans Court Grant. Item 1, approval to accept the Veterans Court Grant from the Office of the Governor's Criminal Justice Division in the amount of $95,627 for the grant period of 9/1/18 through 8/31/19.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, approval of certification of revenues as approved by the County Auditor's Office for the Veterans Court Grant.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $95,627.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The misdemeanor DWI Court Grant. Item 1, approval to accept the misdemeanor DWI Court Grant from the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division, in the amount of $202,141.20 for the grant period of 9/1/18 through 8/31/19.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval of certification of revenues as approved by the County Auditor's Office for the misdemeanor DWI Court Grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, approval of appropriation of funds in the amount of $202,141.20.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Item 18, our IT department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 18A, authorization and approval to upgrade wireless device and purchase a new wireless service plan through the county's participation in DIR contract TSO 3415 with Verizon, as listed on the grid below.
So moved. For approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18B, authorization and approval for the use of the county's Justice Technology Fund for the purchase of equipment, software maintenance, and support services for the county constable office as an extension of their enroll supporting the JPs and any other future related services. We've done this with the other precincts in the past, and we're catching up Precinct 5 with this purchase.
Right. Judge, Commissioners, the issue here with respect to it being on the agenda, it becomes a fact issue. It's for the court to determine that the role that the constables are playing in their, as an extension of the JP's office does qualify to use the JP Technology Fund. And so we believe it to be so. We've
Yes.
done it with others, and so we're
There's been precedence to this before.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Thank you. Have a
carries.
good morning.
Thank you, sir.
What about item 2?
Item 2, Glenn, would be for the use of that technology fund for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just put it on, for the record. Three Brother, you know what? You go ahead.
Yeah, B2, requesting authority to purchase the following hardware. Three Brothers Rugged Jet DT printers with USB, Three Brother USB cables, Three Brother vehicle print mounting brackets, 3 Panasonic TalkBooks, 3 docking stations, 3 side mounts, the 18 hours of installation service, as listed on the contract specified on the rest of that grid.
And with respect to the Brother USB cables, we're talking 10 feet.
10 feet.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mock?
We need a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Thank
Those
you.
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Thank you,
carried.
thank you.
You know, I want to apologize. I'm trying to meet a deadline, and I've got to take off about another 10 minutes. So I want to take a 10-minute recess. All right, we're back in session. Our elections office.
Yes, I don't know if it's good morning or good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Item number 19A, discussion on election updates. Just briefly, I would like to remind this court and the community that today, October 9th, is the last day to register to vote or to make any changes to your existing voter registration. These changes and these new registrants they are for the November 6th general election. It doesn't mean that you can't ever register again. It just means that if you want to make these changes timely to vote in the November 6th election, or you want to register to vote in that election, today is the last day. We are extending our hours today to close at 7 p.m. I just called the office, and the calls are coming in and the people are coming in. So to accommodate our community, we will have the office open until 7 p.m. today.
So the voter registration card has to be at your office today?
Actually, as long as it is time-stamped. So if you are going, good question, Mr. Guerra, because if you're going to mail it in, you've got to make sure that the post office stamps it today, October 9th. Yes, and then
A lot of times the post office doesn't stamp it because you have those Pitney Bowes machines. I've seen that before.
If it, I don't know if the Pitney Bowes has the date.
It has the date, yes.
If it has the date, then we will honor it. We must process
You
it.
can change the date back, not anymore.
Oh, okay, good, good. So yes, as long as it's time-stamped or postmarked today, we will process that application.
That's important for everybody to understand that if they were going to mail it in, because we got some calls and I said, if you're going to mail it in, you need to make sure that it is time-stamped.
Exactly.
That it was on that day.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for that question.
In
the time
frame. That's required. Okay.
Yes, sir. And as of today, not counting what will be coming in today, we are already at 359,052 registered voters. Just in March of this year, we were at 349,735. That's 9,317 more voters, more registered voters today, as of today, before counting what comes in today. Almost 10,000. That's certainly the highest number of registered voters that this county has had. So just to keep anyone in mind, you can come by at 101 South 10th Avenue here in Edinburgh. You can call our office, 318-2570, to check on your status, but make sure that it happens today. The last update is I would just like to say a special thank you to the county IT for working with elections in regards to the security and the cybersecurity. Their support has been very much appreciated, and they're working with us to make sure that we have those guidelines set in place. And having their support has I'm just very appreciated, and so is my staff. So thank you for that. Item 19B. Discussion, consideration, and approval of the early voting mobile polling locations for the November 6, 2018, and you've received a copy of that. There will be two mobiles, Mobile 1 and Mobile 2. So we do need approval for those two.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you. Item C, discussion, consideration, and approval of the following addition to the August 14th, 2018 approved early voting polling locations for the November 6, 2018. And so what we've added in is Edinburgh CISD Technology Building located at 411 North 8th Avenue in Edinburgh. And this will be in addition to the early vote locations that you had previously approved, and you do have a copy of that in your possession.
Is this the same one we had last year?
No, this is the first time that we used the basic 29, yes, sir, they are the same, but because we've got Monte Alto having an election, so we added that in. We also have Valley, I always say the wrong one, so let me make sure. La Villa is also having an election, so we added them in. And now we've added in this new location of Edinburgh CISD, the technology building.
Yeah, all right.
So we're at 32 early vote locations thus far.
All right, go ahead.
I do need your approval on that.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, approval of the 2018 November general elections service contracts between Hidalgo County and the following entities for their elections to be held on November 6, 2018. We have got the City of Edcouch, City of Donna Independent School District, La Jolla Independent School District, Mercedes Independent School District, Valley View Independent School District, City of Edinburgh, Edcouch Elsa Independent School District, Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item E, discussion, consideration, and approval to pay out overtime hours to be worked in preparation for the November 6, 2018 general election by the Hidalgo County Elections Department's permanent staff, who will work the election cycle between September 19th, 2018 until November 30th, 2018, in accordance with Hidalgo County Civil Service Commission rules and as per Commissioners Court action on agenda item AI number 66575 on 9/11 of 2018, approving the inclusion of cost reimbursement for overtime payroll costs incurred by county for elections permanent employees who work during contracted elections with entities.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. And Hilda Salinas will go ahead and present the last item. It has to do with the county, the construction of our new county courthouse and the electioneering policy.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Item F, A1-66992, consideration and action of the proposed changes to Hidalgo County electioneering policy and the Hidalgo County main early voting location at 317 North Klosner, Edinburgh, Texas, 78541. Due to the construction of the Hidalgo County Courthouse, currently electioneers are able to use, or they were able to use the parking lot that's right behind. I'm not sure if Jackie can go ahead and bring up the map. There's a map right in front of you as well. Before, they were able to electioneer in the area that has, right next to the white boxes, as you can see. I'm not sure if you can see up there. Right up there. And everything has changed now because of the parking. Parking is not available anymore because that area is used for the jurors as well as for employee parking. So the previous electioneering policy used to read on item H, and you have that right in front of you as well. It would read, County of Hidalgo parking lots are for public use and to conduct official county business. Therefore, use of handicapped or designated parking spaces will not be allowed for electioneering purposes. All others parking spaces or available area will be limited to one parking space or the equivalent of one parking space per candidate, measure, or political party. That part is the part that we removed from the policy because we're not able to have electioneering parking or parking allowed for electioneers in that area. The new way it'll read is without the last part, which is, again, County of Hidalgo parking lots are for public use and to conduct official county business. Therefore, use of handicapped or designated parking spaces will not be allowed for electioneering purposes.
You need action for that F, right?
Yes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Trying to understand where it is that where they presently conduct the electioneering. That's no longer going to be available.
There's only about 10 spots available where electioneers can set up their camps, which is the blue area.
But none of which are where they have been doing it for a while.
Which is inside.
Okay.
All that area is now used for parking.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And Judge, just to be clear, they will continue to be able to electioneer on the right-of-way for the city, which is all the way north and south on Klosner. That will remain. It's just those parking spaces and the area inside the parking lot that we used to allow. Now, because of the parking issues and limited parking spaces, they won't be able to as well. Now.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 20, our Head Start program.
Item, Judge, Commissioner, with respect to their agenda item, it's no action. They will have it on the next agenda item as it pertains to Commissioner Precinct 1 and Commissioner Precinct 4.
Item 21, Precinct 1.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Pepe Cabeza Vaca presenting for David Fuentes, Commissioner Precinct 1. Item 21A, Duty Health SNAP Ed Program 1100, number 1, requesting approval of interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the University of Health Science Center at Houston on behalf of its Department of Brownsville Regional Campus to provide Tu Salud Si Cuenta program activities effective October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019, subject to legal approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. And Judge Commissioner, I have Lisa Mitchell-Bennett from UT Health Science Center School of Public Health to say a couple of words. If it's okay with you guys?
Of course.
Thank you. Ma'am.
I know that we're short in time. I just wanted to thank you all for agreeing to help us to partner with the county and the precincts to be able to bring valuable health programs. We have been doing research for over 15 years and working with Cameron County municipalities with over 9 municipalities. We've had some really great outcomes in our evidence-based research initiatives that we're doing, and we've seen the rates of diabetes and obesity drop in the areas and communities that we're working in, and we've been able to leverage millions of dollars of funding for both health infrastructure and also to work with particularly folks who are uninsured and suffer from chronic disease. So we really look forward to partnering with you and bringing some of those great models to Hidalgo County and to being able to work together regionally on this effort, and we are starting that with these 2 precincts, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience.
Item 21A2, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditors for revenues associated with the interlocal corporation agreement with UT Health Science of Houston.
So moved.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. 21A3, approval of 2018 appropriation of funds in the amount of $120,000 into the SNAP Ed program for anticipated program expenditures.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. 21B, Precinct 1 is requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel number 63 and number 66 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project, CSJ numbers 0921-02356, with authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval forms.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. 21C, Precinct 1 road maintenance is number 1, approval of certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor for revenue received from the city of Elsa for mile 17.5 interlocal agreement approved by the Commissioners Court on 04/24/18. Agenda item 64-620.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
2162, approval of 2018 appropriation of funds into Precinct 1 Road Maintenance Fund 258 in the amount of $5,553.74.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 22A, Precinct 2 is requesting approval of an agreement between Hidalgo County and Texas Gas Service Company for gas installation at the Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Gilmore Kitchen, with authority for the county judge to execute the agreement.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22B, requesting authorization and approval to apply for a water service with the City of San Juan for 4 water meters that will serve the Precinct 2 Regional Linear Park, Phase 1.
So moved.
Approval. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
22B2, approval of payment to the City of San Juan in the amount of $540 for the utility deposit and connection fee to set up 4 water meters for the Precinct 2 Regional Linear Park Phase 1, with authority for the county treasurer to issue check after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 24, Precinct 4.
Skip 3 or Precinct 3 or?
Precinct 4, number 3 we did it.
Oh, that's right. A long time ago.
Don left?
Yes.
Well then, Judge Commissioners, if I may, for Precinct 4, they're asking approval to purchase unimproved property from La Muñeca Ranches LLC in accordance with the terms of that certain earnest money contract approved by Commissioners Court, with authority for myself, the Executive Officer, to execute the closing documents for the consummation of the purchase of such real property acquisition, and authority for county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor.
So,
Second.
Is this the one for the park?
The park.
Yes, the park.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 25, our Budget Office.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 25A is requesting approval of First Amendment to the interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of McAllen Library relating to the Hidalgo County Library System, e-library.
so approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 25B, 1, 2, and 3, discussion, consideration, and approval of Magic Valley Electric Cooperative Agreement for the installation of streetlights in Presidio State Subdivision, El Jardín del Sur Subdivision, and El Doro Subdivision, all located in Precinct 1.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 25C is the authorization to submit the EDC program application and affidavit for the Mile 6 West project from Mile 9 to Mile 11, CSJ number 0921-02-168, with authority for the county judge to sign all required documentation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Okay, Marty, hurry
You
up.
see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Item 26A1, requesting approval of work authorization 3 in the amount of $56,729 under the current on-call agreement with Half and Associates for the provision of engineering services for the 5 bus stops and shelters with accessible parking spaces. And there was an observation. This is I'm recommending subject to funding.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, this is yearly action that is requested to establish the following deadlines for submission of requisitions for all goods and services for fiscal year 2018. That is the major purchases will be November 9th of this year, and then day-to-day purchases November 30th.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, acceptance and approval of contractor-controlled insurance program as proposed by Morganti of Texas Incorporated for general liability only for the construction of the new Hidalgo County Courthouse.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This is at the CSIP. What is the total amount?
I can't access it right now. Judge, I'm
Well,
sorry.
just call me and let me know what it is.
Oh, certainly. We'll get you that information if it's not attached. 4 is authority to purchase the following property lots through 7, inclusively of Block 233, Edinburgh Original Townsite Addition, City of Edinburgh, County of Hidalgo, for the price of $275,500, including execution of the earnest money contract by Valdeguerra, Executive Officer, including the request by the county auditor for the county auditor to do its processing, its audit, and then the processing for the county treasurer to issue the manual check in the amount of $5,000 to Edwards Abstract and Title Company as an earnest money deposit.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 5 is requesting authority to advertise and approval of draft procurement packet, legal notice, requirements, scope of services, etc., 4, Cobra Administration Services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
6 is discussion, review, and approval to increase the current approved amount of 2 transactions per day to 4 transactions per day with our Voyager fuel cards during the general election cycle of October, November through December 1st for the Elections Department.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B1 is for Executive Office pursuant to Texas Local Government Code and the interest expediting project's progress, requesting authority for precinct or designee Valdeguerra to execute changes that involve an increase of $50,000 or less, or a decrease not to be more than 18% without the written consent of the contractor. And this is for the build-back services on the property of 1902 Joe Stevens, Westlaco.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2 is requesting authority to enter into an agreement with Swaggart Productions. This is through a co-op purchase, $11,940 for the live streaming services of Commissioners Court.
Motion approved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 1A is requesting authority to cancel the RFQ with P number 181 for the professional CMAR services for the construction of Sunset Park Operations Building.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is requesting authority to cease all negotiations with the number 1 ranked vendor, Econ, and all others ranked inasmuch as the project has grown in scope and budget from the current of the original RFQP for professional CMAR services for Sunset Park Operations Building, while all other professional service providers selected and contracted to date remain the same.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C, requesting authority to advertise and approval of the revised draft procurement packet. There was an observation to that. It was uploaded this morning. Now, I know we can't view it, but that packet has been received and uploaded into the agenda. For the construction manager at risk method of construction, for the CMAR of the Sunset operations with that modified packet.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
D is selection and designation of the evaluation committee, and the original were as follows. Keep the original designated members, which you had 3 options: Mayor Suarez, Amy Smith, and Mr. Del Angel, the project manager. The only change there to number 1 would be to substitute Jorge Peña for Miss Amy Sáenz Smith. That is a recommendation by the precinct.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
No action required then on item 2.
Okay, and Judge Commissioners, just for the record on that designation of the committee members, as always, Marty, your office is going to provide guidance if there's any questions and or comments.
We coordinate everything. Yes. Item 2, requesting approval for Commissioner David Fuentes to sign permitted renewal application for Precinct 1 air curtain incinerator and pay the $450 permit fee with authority for the county treasurer to issue a check after audit procedures are completed.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is requesting approval of Supplemental 1 to Work Authorization 1 submitted by Alpha Infrastructure Engineering for the damage report to reflect the revised Exhibit C.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 1A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, professional services.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item B is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court. The 3 providers were Javier Hinojosa Engineering, 95, Quintanilla Headley and Associates, 98, Cruz Hogan Consultants, 96. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just for the record, the observation was a request by the auditor to have the CIS submitted and the grader, and I have responded in my responses that historically the precinct has followed the same practice of the present and the past. Item C, authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement commencing with the number one Quintanilla Headley and Associates.
Motion approved.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number E, Precinct 4, requesting exemption, competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A4 for the professional service selection as to the document for the selection and ranked LNG under agenda item 66288, approved on August 28th.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B is requesting approval of professional services agreement with LNG for the on-call geotechnical construction materials testing services for projects located within Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F is for the IT department. Its acceptance and approval of a professional services agreement between Tyler Technologies and Hidalgo County for the installation of AbleTerm server assistance.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting approval to accept, purchase, and execute statement of work that will be rendered by NetSync Network Solutions under the DIR contract as stated in the amount of $15,584 through the requisition also on the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
3, requesting approval to accept, purchase, and execute the statement of work for services that will be rendered by Inside Public Sector under DI contract as stated in the amount of $9,600 through the requisition also submitted for network consulting support.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
For the district clerk, item G1, requesting authorization to enter to a 36-month capital lease agreement with Pitney Bowes through Hidalgo County's participation by board contract as stated, 82403, billed quarterly at $2,472.09, inclusively of all required hardware, software, and the county judge's authority to sign.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Budget and management, presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking the evaluated submissions of the RFP for workers' compensation loss and funding projection actuarial study. AMI risk consultants at 96, Glixman at 94.6, Lewis and Ellis 94, and Huggins Actuarial Services at 93. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of those scores?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to negotiate an agreement with the number one rank, commencing with number one ranked of AMI risk consultants.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 1 for the sheriff's department, I1. This is requesting approval to process requisition 379237 for Spillman Technologies in the amount of $100,461.75. It's the annual software maintenance through sole source declaration amendment on 11/1/16.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Requesting approval to purchase a mini dome camera systems from Wireless CCTV LLC through Hidalgo County's membership with the co-op. That's the GSA Schedule 84 for the Sheriff's Office. And the supporting equipment, connection, installation, and warranties through the requisition as posted in the amount of $69,400.
It's a little camera for that amount.
It's an expensive one. Huh?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is approval to purchase new holsters and magazine cases for the new weapons purchase for the Sheriff's Office from Galls. Hidalgo County's membership and participation with by-board contract as shown, $66,434.38.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
J1 for the District Attorney's Office, requesting clarification on agenda item 66719 approved on September 18th for the DA's office to purchase for the purchase of a 2018 Jeep Compass as it no longer is available to be replaced and substituted with the 2018 Renegade Latitude in the total amount of $22,611 through requisition 380647.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And I'm done. Thank you.
Countywide.
I'm not done. Just kidding. Fake news. Okay. K1.
You watch it, Fox.
Never.
Oh, you do.
No. If I want to get riled up, my kids tell me, just turn it to Fox. Okay. J1, requesting clarification on agenda item 66719 approved on September 18th to replace, oh no, that was, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. K1, you see what Fox does to me? Approval to exercise the county's option to extend the county-wide laboratory services on contract number 153 for 1 year under the same rates, terms, and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge Commissioners, we do have open forum. We have two participants. First participant, Ms. Fern McClarity.
For a while, I was going to be here all day. What I wanted to talk about, one thing, is at the elections office, that rat that I was telling you about that's the size of a cat, he's peeing on the wall. So that sucker is big. So I just thought I would tell you, they haven't caught him yet. So I'm hoping that you'll do something, because I saw pictures, and it's up about where the socket is over there.
That's not a rat, it's probably a
donkey.
They got pictures of it. It's a rat with a long tail. Okay, the OWLs, the Objective Watchers of the Legal System, are having a candidate meet and greet tomorrow night at 6:30. The doors will open here. It's open to the public. We'll start introducing at 7. We are having the 13th Appellate Court Chief Justices, the ones that are running, coming. We have the 13th Court of Appeals, place 2, 4, and 5. They're coming. We have the State Representative District 41. We have the ones that are running for County Judge. And we also have the U.S. Representative District 15. And I believe the U.S. 34 Congressional District and the U.S. Representative District 93. So I'm hoping that there's no one here and everybody's asleep at home, would be able to come tomorrow night. We would like the public to be able to talk to the people and just meet them one-on-one. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have the table set up outside.
Thank you.
Last presenter is Dr. Casey Fletcher.
Oh, he passed out hours ago.
Okay. So we have no more under open forum. Judge Commissioners, I can address with respect to our executive session, unless there's a need to go into executive session, I can address it in open session.
Let's do it.
Okay, then we'll go straight to item 30. Well, let me go to item 29. There's no action under 29A and 29B. 30A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same. There's no action today. 30B, pending and or potential litigation. There is no action to be taken. 30C, cause number CL 185022-G, Jesus Esqueda versus County of Hidalgo and Robert Perez. This is a claim that is being handled by the DA's office, Civil Division, turned into a suit. So for the record, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office will be facilitating the defense for Hidalgo County. Item 30D, claim of Jeanette De Leon. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $2,850.84.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 30E, claim of Julian Martinez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $93.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 30F, claim of Ileana Gutierrez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $94.13.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the last one, Judge Commissioners, the claim of Gerardo Morales Lopez. This is in conjunction with working with the DA Civil Division. Our TPA has come back, and I'd like the court, in settlement of this claim, to accept settlement in the amount of $30,000.
So
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, let me just make sure one thing. Yes, 30,000. There's no need to go back into to close or open session. Our next Commissioners Court is on October 23rd.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.